which sometimes doesn't happen when you're buying overseas.
More than a quarter of eligible Victorians have already cast their vote for this weekend's state election. Eddie Summerfield reports.
Wednesday was the busiest day so far of pre-polling, with more than 200,000 people voting. Over 1.6 million people have already voted, with 4.3 million Victorians enrolled. The most votes have been cast in the Labor-held seat of Sydenham, with more than 17,000 votes already in. Of the other electorates, with more than 15,000 votes cast, they're all held by Labor, except for the independent-held Morwell and the new seat of Greenvale.
There's been a staff shooting at a Walmart in the US. Alison Petrowski has the story.
The shooter has been identified as 31-year-old Andre Bing, the overnight team leader at the Walmart store in Chesapeake, Virginia. Local police believe Bing opened fire in the break room, killing 6 people before turning the gun on himself.
And the suspect is dead from what we believe was a self-inflicted gunshot wound.
4 others were wounded and are being treated in hospital. The shooting comes 3 days after a man killed 5 people at an LGBTQ nightclub in Colorado Springs. The United States has had more than 600 mass shootings this year.
A former US president is heading to Australia. An evening with President Barack Obama will be held in Melbourne and Sydney next March. Tickets go on sale today, starting at $195. Now to 5AA Sport.
Gliderroll Garage Doors' new Platinum and Native Series sectional doors are here. Gliderroll.com.au.
And it's good morning to Tom Wren.
And a very good morning as well to you, Mel. Let's start with World Cup action. Spain has registered its biggest win at a World Cup, humiliating Costa Rica with a 7-0 thumping in Qatar. Former Chelsea striker Alvaro Morata came off the bench to score the record-breaking goal in injury time. Here's the call on SBS.
Morata thought about it, might still go for it and does. Relentless. Spain just keep on finding a way through and finding the back of the Costa Rica net.
Yeah, they've smashed them there. In other results, Japan stunned Germany with a 2-1 win, while Morocco and Croatia drew 0-0. The final match of the morning between Belgium and Canada is about half hour in, with scores currently locked at 0-0. Well, AFL boss Gillon McLachlan will be staying on as chief executive until round 5 next year. He'd previously wanted to finish up with the league by the end of 2022. In golf, major champions Cam Smith and Adam Scott are among the big names teeing off at Royal Queensland for the Australian PGA this morning. Commentator Ian Baker-Finch telling Wide World of Sports the course is in excellent condition and a lot of stars have travelled down under.
Oh, we've got a great field. I mean, it's good to see all the boys come back for the summer of golf. Australian PGA this week at Royal Queensland and then down to Melbourne next week for the Australian Open. It's really good. The course is in great shape too. Looking forward to when it all kicks off.
And confirmation this morning, Aussie Daniel Ricciardo will stay in the Formula One system next year, set to be the reserve driver for Red Bull. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Now the 5AA forecast.
See any issue firsthand with AutoCam. Real-time video, direct to you from your Automasters technician.
24 today and mostly sunny. Sunny tomorrow 31. Saturday a shower or two 27. Sunday a shower or two and 20. Right now it's 9 degrees. More news as it happens on 5AA.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings. 5AA Breakfast.
6:06, good morning to you. Welcome to Thursday on 5AA Breakfast, headlined by the fact that Thursday has decent weather forecast. 24 the expected top today. Mostly sunny, it reads, according to the Bureau this morning, which we like to see. Tomorrow, even better, 31. And just plain old sunny, which is just excellent. Remember when that used to be what we got during November and spring? Nice to get a little bit of a throwback sort of a day. We've got a big morning ahead for you on 5AA Breakfast. Off to the US before 7 o'clock today. We'll be chatting with the South Australian president of the AMA after 7 about the preparations that have been made for health workers and access to health services in those flood-inundated areas of the northeastern part of South Australia and through the Riverland. We'll be talking about that. 7:30, we'll bring Matt Abraham into the studio. We'll dissect the spin of the week, and of course, it's a Thursday. It is Smeg Thursday. We've got a toaster to give away after 8 o'clock. David Penberthy, good morning to you.
Good morning, Will. Good morning, listeners. Very excited about Smeg. Very excited too, because being a Thursday, you know what that means, folks. Particularly those of you, especially specifically, exactly those of you on the live stream. Thanks to our great friends at Foodland. look out for the man on a beautiful, balmy spring day like this. You think Peter Shearer and you think white linen.
Well, you know what's exciting about this, and I'm not sure you're even aware of this, David, but Peter Shearer have just brought out their David Inspo collection, and this is the dressed up version. It's inspired by it's the David courtship wear,
the never fail gear. The never fail gear, as I like to call it.
What do you always say?
How could any woman say no?
90% of the time, it works every time.
Yeah, that's right. I think it's more like 60%. Actually, maybe not even that. What was it in Ron Burgundy? I think it was 60%.
This is the first whitish jacket I've ever worn,
and it works.
Here we are.
Because you're a little bit swarthy. You're not a real white guy. You got a little bit of colouring to you. I reckon.
A little bit.
Yeah,
little bit.
Yeah, a bit of tan.
If I knew that I was wearing the white jacket, I would have spent a bit of time on the beach yesterday.
Well, maybe just gone to the tanning lounge.
I would have, been in the sunbed.
Put on the old
Are
reef tan.
They're banned, aren't they? They're illegal now, I think.
They got banned in Victoria by Dan Andrews. No, I'm not sure if they are.
Are they? I take it back then.
They're pretty unpopular because of the...
They got a bad rap, didn't they?
Well, I think rightly so.
Yeah.
Like the link to melanoma and all of that. But mention reef tan. Remember in the 70s and 80s, you could buy you could probably still get them. You can buy those tanning lotions that are like... It's basically like marinating yourself in vegetable oil.
I know. I was about to dob some in. Some I may be related to, but so I won't. Back in the day, they put all sorts of butter and all sorts of things on their person to sort of,
Butter?
There's all sorts of weird things. You're basically cooking yourself.
What was that at? I can't believe it's not butter.
That's
but no, the
Fabio.
The white, it is Fabio. The white linen suit, though, mate, it's good. And people always associate him with Richie Benno, and because he doggedly stuck to the white linen suit.
The white
for 22.
The cream.
But no, it's good. It's working for you.
Get 25% off store-wide at Peter Shearer's Black Friday sale. Includes all new season items in-store and online. Always Peter Shearer Menswear. Love that store. You're just dealing with experts the moment you walk in. Always staff, and they all know what they're doing. I love the story in the paper today about the free TAFE places that are opening up. I can't... I was looking at the list, as my want, David, trying to find the weakness in the policy, insofar as the totally stupid education that you could get, wholly subsidised by the taxpayer. It is literally reads like a what's what of the industries that are in desperate need in Australia. So the 110 free courses that will be delivered through TAFE. So this has been rolled out nationally. It was a federal initiative. South Australia's the first place that we've got some detail, though. They're starting it. $1.1 billion deal the federal government's struck with states. It is, as opposed to sourcing the problems of our labour shortages externally, this is trying to build a long-term fix by skilling up Australians and people that live here. These are the fields. Agriculture, so we're talking horticulture, conservation management, winemaking, allied health, mental health, nursing, community and youth services, aged care, disability support, building and construction, bricklaying, civil, construction and electrical engineering, cooking, baking and food processing, creative industries, screen, media, music and graphic design, early childhood education, hospitality, tourism and event management, information technology and cybersecurity. It's a shopping list of things we're in desperate need of.
And I think TAFE is... I don't know why there was this sort of... what's the word for it? Credentialism. There was this view that became all the rage. Part of it was probably linked to the fact that education was free, tertiary education was free in this country for a long time. But there's this completely baseless and elitist sort of view that if you hadn't gone to uni, your life was somehow a failure. Like you hadn't achieved if you got a tertiary degree from a college or a university, and it's just total nonsense. I mean, my dad grew up in an era where a lot of kids left after what they used to call intermediate, year 10, because they had a trade. And, these are the people who became, really proficient boilermakers or cabinet makers. And I suppose a lot of those skills of some of them, I mean, thinking about, the 1950s, you could probably spend your life as a saw sharpener. That's not really a job anymore. It's an arcane interest and skill to have, but in this disposable age, no one's sharpening their saws anymore. But there's plenty of people who've achieved massive success in life and great happiness and affluence by just throwing themselves into a trade or a vocation. And I think it's good to see, particularly at a time when as COVID has worsened it, struggling to fill all of those gaps. It's a good thing that all those courses are...
Interested to hear from people how they got into their careers this morning as we start off. 8223 You can text us on 0448 08 1395. What got you started? Was it an apprenticeship? Was it a friend of a friend? Was it something you always wanted to do as a kid? At risk of offending you as a proud Adelaide University graduate, first thing this morning, I actually think there is this weird disconnect that exists. So TAFE prepares you specifically to do these jobs. Universities in a whole heap of degrees proudly declare they're not there to train you how to do the job. It is the independent study of something that they're interested in. I remember this moment studying journalism at a university, and so someone was talking about the ins and outs of doing the job, and the lecturer was at pains to explain, we're not here to teach you how to be a journalist. This is the study of journalism.
Yeah.
And at that moment I thought, there's no point me being here. This is a waste of time. Because
mate, don't get me started. So many journalism schools in this country, and so many of the people, this is an even more important point, so many of the people who work there, they're not training you to work in the media, they're training you to be the next host of Media Watch.
Yeah, but
because most of them have an unyielding hostility to what is based on the public appetite for news and the way it's delivered. Their main beef is with the most successful news organisation in the world, i.e. Rupert Murdoch's News
It's
Corporation.
ideological. But
I saw one of them the other day on Twitter saying that no one who works at News Corporation should be allowed to go on any talk shows because we're all fascists. and he's a lecturer. It's Bernard Zoul, who used to work at Triple J. See, Kel's surprise there. But I thought, this bloke's a taxpayer-funded academic teaching the journalists of tomorrow, and he's saying no one who works at News Corp should be allowed to go on any chat show.
But this is why I think there's this sort of philosophical disconnect between what universities promise and what kids get out of them, and why I think TAFE reputationally should be considered in a far better light, to your original point.
A lot of famous Australians who had great success went to TAFE. One guy who, this will be a controversial call because a lot of people say, hang on, I was paying 20% interest rates at the time. But whatever your politics are, he is regarded by independent analysts as the most important treasurer Australia ever had. His name's Paul Keating.
He was the greatest reformer of any treasurer we've ever had.
By a country mile. He went to TAFE. Didn't go to uni. Bankstown boy went to TAFE.
Well, we've got it twisted, I think, a bit at the moment in this country, where it's the uni or bust mentality. When unis themselves will say we're not here as training grounds. We're here to promote the study of something, and I think it's an important distinction.
I even wonder if Year 12 retention rates are worth being part of the same conversation. Because not everyone has to become or try to become a doctor or a lawyer.
Absolutely right. Interesting where people got their starts this morning. That's what we're talking about. 8223 You can text us on 0448 08 1395. Oh, good. The sledges are already coming in for the Peter Shearer. We might get to some of those in just a moment, along with news headlines coming up next.
Hey Strikers fans, TK here. Don't miss a minute of BBO action this summer. Remember these dates. Wednesday, December the 14th, our season opener against the Sydney Sixers at Adelaide Oval. Also, my birthday. Next up, it's the big one, December 31st. Adelaide's biggest New Year's Eve party returns to Adelaide Oval. You're all invited, but get your tickets quick as they're selling fast. For tickets to all BBL matches, visit adelaidestrikers.com.au, and I'll see you back at Adelaide Oval this summer.
I'm Kathy Nagel, Chief Executive of Western Hospital Henley Beach. Are you looking for a new GP? Western Hospital GP Clinic delivers primary care to all. Our GPs and experienced practice staff will assist you with your health journey and be there for you when you need it most, from young families to seniors. Healthcare assessments and care plans are just part of the services offered here at Western Hospital GP Clinic by our 12 friendly GPs. For more information or to make an appointment online, visit westernhospitalgp.com.au.
This state has plenty of great wine regions a short drive from the city, but did you know there's a fantastic wine region right here in the suburbs?
Absolutely fantastic. I love Petrutti wines. You only need to go as far as Dover Gardens to find Petrutti wines, where you can get the full authentic winery experience right in the heart of suburbia. It's the only fully functioning winery in suburban Australia, in the heart of suburban Australia. Petritti Wines have got a big range of premium wine, including fortified wines, and they're also famous for their juices and their alcohol-removed wines, which are all the rage.
You'll find plenty of great gift ideas there, but the cellar door is also a great place to get away and relax with the family. They're open 7 days a week, and on weekends you can kick back with live music and food trucks.
And look, it's so close. You can make a day of it. Go there, check out their wonderful new tasting room. They've got a beautiful lawn area for the kids to play. You can get an Uber or a taxi from most parts of town for next to nothing, because it's only there just near Marion Shopping Centre. So this Christmas, treat yourself to something from Petritti Wines. It's the cellar door in the city at Clacton Road, Dover Gardens.
Introducing Nissan Future Value Business Plus, a new fleet finance solution for small to medium businesses offering competitive weekly repayments, including the cost of scheduled servicing for the loan term. Available now on the all-new Nissan X-Trail ST. Plan confidently for the road ahead with Nissan Future Value Business Plus. Visit nissan.com.au/business plus or contact your local Nissan dealer. Approved ABN registered small to medium fleet applicants of Nissan Financial Services. T's and C's and exclusions apply.
Gents, have you got the urge to pee again, even though you only just went? Caruso's Pee Less for Men relieves that annoying gotta pee again feeling and helps support healthy bladder and prostate function. So, if your need to pee all the time is getting in the way of enjoying life, try Caruso's Pee Less today. Caruso's Pee Less is made in Australia, comes with a money-back guarantee and is available from leading pharmacies and health food stores. Always read the label and follow the directions for use.
For more than 10 years, Brenton Raglas and Kate Collins have brought you all the big stories on 9 News.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
19 after 6, news headlines on this Thursday, the 24th of November, a nice sunny Adelaide day. A man has been seriously injured in a dog attack near Tailem Bend. It's believed the owner attempted to break up two fighting dogs. When one attacked him yesterday afternoon, the 40-year-old received punctures to both arms, was taken to Murray Bridge Hospital before being flown to Adelaide. It's understood police had to fatally shoot the Doberman. A 4-knot speed limit, or basically a fast walking pace, has been introduced for boats on parts of the River Murray as the floodwaters rise. River users are also not permitted to swim or use canoes, kayaks or aquatic toys within 250 metres of a loch or weir. Police will have an increased presence on the water, with anyone breaching the restrictions subject to a maximum penalty of $10,000.
I tell you what, it breaks your heart, and we've been covering a lot of this ourselves. We were talking about the surf shop in Mannum the other day and the garden centre. Like, some of those businesses can relocate. I mean, the garden centre there next to the Pretoria is at least sort of a largely, it's effectively like a vacant block where they just set up a whole bunch of trestle tables with all the seedlings on them, so they can move. But for bricks and mortar businesses like the surf shop, it's just recovering from 2 years of COVID with, you know, fewer visitors due to the border closures and so forth. This was going to be their big bounce back summer where they had all their stock ready to go. So now they've pulled out, and the lady who owns the store saying she thinks it could be 6 to 12 months before she reopens.
We heard the council side of the explanation around the levy down the middle of the street that can save some businesses and condemn others. Hearing it from her perspective, though, just turning up to the community meeting, I wonder what we're going to do, seeing the plans.
It sounds like it's been really badly handled, I think.
And she just go, oh, hang on, so what my business is just stuffed.
Yeah, I mean, the first thing you'd do, you'd walk in there. It'd be like living on South Road when you hear about the, South Road upgrade. The first thing you do is show me the map. Like, that poor woman would have gone in and gone, oh, right.
It doesn't even seem like she's of the view that, I don't accept this is the only way. What she doesn't accept, and this seems totally legitimate to me, is that no one could personally have spoken to her and said, hey, look, this is not going to be easy.
Well, I know. Like, I'd say, I know the council's under a bit of pressure, but crikey.
There's not that many businesses.
Mannum's not Manhattan.
Yeah.
Like, I think if you wanted to get the word out to someone, you'd talk to one other person in the main street and they'd say, oh yeah, I know them. Like, it's a very, very small town.
The Prime Minister of Finland will visit Australia next week.
Yes.
Sanna Marin will be accompanied by a business delegation.
She's coming to Adelaide.
We're going to try and get her on. Prime Minister Anthony Albanese says Australia and Finland are a world apart geographically, but share values and a strong desire to uphold international order.
One of those values is a love of partying as well. We are,
dancing and music.
We're countries that enjoy things like that. I reckon she's a breath of fresh air, that woman.
Her moment, sort of saying, when she was asked about how the war in Ukraine might wrap up or the diplomatic end, and she just said, when Vladimir Putin pulls his troops out of Ukraine, that's when the war ends. And just walked off from the press conference. It was a great moment.
What about those? Oh, words fail me. You see what happened overnight?
The missile attack on Kyiv.
The maternity hospital's been
totally indiscriminate. Yeah,
a baby's been killed. They're just morally bankrupt.
One of the international, I don't know if it's Doctors Without Borders, but one of the international bodies has plotted on a map all the medical sites that have been targeted in missile attacks. Not military hospitals, just your local medical centre.
Yeah.
You know, like it'd be like missile attack Adelaide. Oh, we're going to hit the Tennyson Centre on South Road,
or the Crafter Centre, or the
that kind of stuff. Yeah,
just abysmal.
A former US president is heading to Australia also. An evening with President Barack Obama will be held in Melbourne and Sydney next March. Tickets go on sale today, starting at $195. That's actually less than I was expecting.
Yeah, I thought it would have been like $1,000 or something.
I was bracing myself for the end of that sentence. $195.
He's cheaper than Taylor Swift.
What, Taylor Swift?
He's cheaper than most entertainers. He's certainly cheaper than Bruce Springsteen is going to be in his most premium incarnation when he does his world tour. You see what the boss is charging?
Yeah, because
there's some of those exclusive tickets are like $3,000 or something.
Yeah.
But in a very un-Springsteen way, he said, my whole life I've always been about, equal access to everyone.
I saw that.
Then he said, but now I'm getting on a bit, and I looked at what the other stars are charging, and I thought, well, why not?
Yeah, fair enough.
Get me a slice of that.
Fair enough.
But if people are going to pay, then people are going to pay.
You get value for money at a Boss show too.
And the cheap tickets are still cheap.
It is cool out there
Cheapish.
at the moment. 8.9 degrees outside in the city. Top of 24, sunny today. 31 tomorrow. A couple of beautiful days on the way. Saturday will be 27, but we might get a little drizzle during the late morning. Then on Sunday, it drops down to 20, the top, with a mill of rain. Monday, mild and 19. Tuesday, coolish and 21. That'd be the 29th of November then. And we just haven't had a real smack of hot weather as yet. Let's talk sport. Tom Wren is keeping an eye on it all for us, thanks to Gliderol Garage Doors, adding strength, safety and style to South Australian homes for over 40 years. Gliderol.com.au. Morning to you, Rennie.
Morning, Will. Morning, David. I know we're keeping an eye on the World Cup. Belgium-Canada. It is 1-0 at the moment in favour of Belgium. I've got to say, Canada, brutally unlucky. They've been dominating Belgium, but that's the world game. That's the way it goes. Belgium have only gone forward a few times and scored against the run of play. So hopefully Canada can find an equaliser in the second half.
Whoever scores first for Canada will be the first Canadian ever to score in World Cup history.
Well, I tell you what, they could have scored 3 or 4. They've been dominating.
They had one from the spot saved.
Yeah.
So there was a guy standing there with a penalty that had an opportunity to be the first ever, and the moment just got big on him fast.
Oh, no.
So I feel a bit sorry for them. But in terms of cricket, I wanted to talk a little bit of cricket this morning. We know the crowds were really poor for the one-dayers, and it seems like the sport is tearing itself apart a bit at the moment. Justin Langer, the former coach, has absolutely teed off on former players, including the skipper Pat Cummins, and people that he's described as sources, as cowards that have been leaking to the media during his reign. Let's have a bit of a listen to what he had to say on a podcast.
And Pat Cummins said to me probably 5 times, "Oh, mate, this might be brutally honest." I said, "Pat, there is nothing brutal about your feedback. What's brutal is I'm hearing it behind my back through the media or through sources." You hear a lot of journalists use the word source. A source says. I would say change that word for coward. A coward says.
He hasn't missed.
No. And these podcasts for sports stars, they're almost becoming like the old Catholic confessional where they just go in there and let rip. It's a very effective sort of way of them getting an unadorned message out. What about Cricket Australia, though? So they've engaged on this. They've come out yesterday on the record,
Nick
fighting
Hockley.
fire with fire. Crikey, they've got no idea.
That's the CEO, Nick Hockley. And you feel that this is only going to sort of fuel the fire ahead of the first test next week against the West Indies, and it's going to be the thing everyone's talking about.
I think that the test will galvanise the cricket community, because we all still like test cricket.
Yeah.
Australians will get behind the team because of that. But I'm interested, Rennie, as someone who watches it close and is a big fan, and I see this debated everywhere. Do you think the current plight of Australian cricket in terms of fan engagement, how much of it is because we don't like the team and the players as much as we have in the past because of all this, and how much of it is because of the nature, the format, how much cricket there is, how meaningless and disposable it all is, the different formats, what T20's done to it, how much of it is the cricket and how much of it is the Australian cricket team?
I think it's probably a bit of everything, and I think it goes back, Will, to 2018, Sandpaper Gate. You know, it changed the identity, the way we played. We wanted them to always push the line, then they did that, they went over the line, they crossed the line, and then we wanted them to change the way they played. We wanted them to be humble, and I think then they sort of became almost robotic, and then we wanted them to go back to being aggressive. So there's this real identity crisis, saturation of cricket as well. I think all of that thrown in, it's made it really hard to, one day cricket's probably on its deathbed, just about, and it's made it really hard to, I don't know, identify with it.
The other thing, isn't Langer in talks with, is it with Nine or with Fox to get a summer commentating role? Which
that'll get some people listening.
I know. We'll be putting the special in the special comments.
Well, I spoke to him recently at a function, and he was fantastic. He wasn't as explosive as that, but he's got some great insights into the game, and he's generally a very positive person, but clearly he feels aggrieved about this situation.
I'm totally on Langer's side here. I reckon all those players who got their noses out of joint are a bunch of millennial ponces who can't handle blunt feedback.
And I think that there's a general feel in the room that I was in on that day. That was the general. Now, it was an older crowd. It was probably most people around 40 to 60.
Well, these little Suki Lala players who get their precious feelings hurt because they have a few blunt feedback sessions because someone said, hey, try harder or think more. Like, you can't say things like that anymore. You know, what we can have an Australian cricket team that's got no human resources department.
I wonder if it's a more generational sort of debate, isn't it? You know, generation, what is it, Y versus X versus...
You do get the sense that the public is on Justin Langer's side because he's the embodiment of the problem that cricket faces because he's from an era where we loved the team and they were awesome.
Yeah.
So the benefit of the doubt's going to go to the guy who's A, done it, and B, speaks a language that we like hearing, not this garbage that gets trotted out at the moment.
Yeah, it's a tough PR battle for Cricket Australia and the current players, so I think there's going to be a bit more to this in the next week or two.
Good on you, Rennie.
Thanks, boys.
Gliderol Garage Doors' new Platinum and Native Series sectional doors are here, gliderol.com.au.
Top of the list? First pick, numero uno. If you've been dreaming of choosing a new Mazda, Mawson Lakes Mazda want to give you preferential treatment. New stock has arrived, and right now you can take first pick of the Mazda range and lock in an amazing deal. Get behind the wheel of your dream Mazda sooner. See the new stock available for delivery now. Mawson Lakes Mazda, just a short drive from the city.
Get a read on fuel hikes, rate spikes and red carpet delights. Get a read on today with The Advertiser and enjoy full digital access for only $1 a week for the first 12 weeks. Minimum cost $4. Search The Advertiser offer today. Conditions apply.
Hello, Frank Walker from National Tiles. The National Tiles Black Friday event ends tomorrow. This is the biggest National Tiles online and in-store event of the year. Spend $4,000 and we'll only charge you $2,750. Or spend $2,000 and we'll only charge you $1,450. This National Tiles Black Friday event is absolutely massive. So go to nationaltiles.com.au now. But you'll have to be quick. This offer ends tomorrow.
This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Mostly sunny and 24 today with the 6:30 news. I'm Mel Usher.
Keep in shape with physio-instructed clinical Pilates and gym classes at 6 locations. physioextra.com.
The former head of Australia's nuclear science is urging the federal government to be fully informed about the energy option. A nuclear energy forum is today being held at Parliament House, bringing together MPs, industry experts and scientists. Former ANSO Chief Executive Addy Peterson is moderating the forum and says there are examples overseas of how it can work.
I think the important message is that perhaps if you look at Germany and California, both of which have got grids that are big and complex like ours, both those countries are keeping nuclear power plants on in spite of their long resistance to nuclear.
Mannum residents who live on the wrong side of the proposed floodwater levy are facing their sewerage being cut off. SA Water has started door knocking and will cut access to around 150 properties as they prepare for rising floodwaters. SA Power Networks has also been cutting electricity to properties as well. Domestic airfares may be at record highs, but there is some relief for those willing to plan ahead. Andrea Carruthers has more.
Major airlines slashing fares on hundreds of thousands of select flights as part of the Black Friday sales. Virgin offering discounted tickets from January to June next year, including Brisbane to Sydney from $85 one way or Brisbane to Whitsundays from $79, while passengers journeying on Jetstar in the first 3 months of next year can go Brisbane to Launceston from $99 one way. The mega sale comes after months of criticism over airline performance.
And we're being warned about the amount of increasing number of scams online during Black Friday sales. Black Friday is officially tomorrow, followed by Cyber Monday next week. Minister for Consumer and Business Affairs, Andrea Michaels, is encouraging people to research, shop around and keep personal details secure.
Set to be the biggest sales overshadowing Boxing Day. We're just asking consumers to be aware of where they're buying from, including buying from reputable Australian retailers when they're shopping online.
The countdown to WOMAD continues. Artists from Ukraine, Ghana, Jamaica, Tibet and Romania have been added to the bill for next year's event. It's the final lineup announcement ahead of the World Music Festival's return in March 2023. The European Space Agency's announced a group of new astronauts. Carrie-Anne Greenbank has the story.
This is a world first for the European Space Agency, recruiting an astronaut with a physical disability. British Paralympic sprinter John McFall has been selected, along with 5 other astronauts and 11 reservists. The application process was as tough as it gets. The astronauts whittled down from 22,000 applications, which was more than twice the amount of people who applied during the last recruitment drive in 2018.
More items belonging to Marilyn Monroe are going under the hammer, including a greeting card from the man recently ID'd as her father via DNA. It's the only known material artefact establishing a connection between them. The auction will take place in Beverly Hills next month. Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Gliderall Garage Doors, adding strength, safety and style to South Australian homes for over 40 years. Gliderall.com.au.
Here's Tom Wren.
Thank you, Mel. Belgium has a 1-0 lead against Canada in the late game at the World Cup. Canada was dominating possession and missed a penalty in the 11th minute. And they were made to pay as the highly fancied Belgium scored half hour later.
Through by Alderweireld. Michy Batshuayi scores! Fierce, crisp and cruel. Belgium breakthrough. Canada crushed.
Audio there thanks to SBS. Meantime, Spain has smashed Costa Rica 7-0. Japan stunned Germany 2-1, while Croatia and Morocco played out a 0-0 draw. Well, South Australia's Sheffield Shield match against Queensland has finished in a draw after the Redbacks reached 3 for 246, with Jake Lehmann and Nathan McSweeney both digging in nicely, recording unbeaten half-centuries. The first groups are just teeing off in the Australian PGA Championship at Royal Queensland. Currently on the course getting their tournament underway, the future group of Cam Smith, Adam Scott and New Zealander Ryan Fox. To tennis, veteran Andy Murray and Italian young gun Yannick Sinner have signed up for the Adelaide International. Tennis SA CEO Debbie Sterry says there's also some big stars on the women's side.
Former world number 1 and 2-time Australian Open champion Victoria Azarenka, who will play both weeks. And alongside her for week 2 is former number 2 in the world and 2-time Wimbledon champion Petra Kvitova.
2 weeks of action. They will start the 2 tournaments in early January until January 14 ahead of the Australian Open. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Now the 5AA forecast.
See any issue firsthand with AutoCam. Real-time video, direct to you from your Automaster's technician.
24 today, mostly sunny. Sunny tomorrow, 31. Saturday, a shower or 2, 27. Sunday, a shower or 2, down to 20. Right now, it's 9 degrees. More news as it happens on 5AA.
5AA's Tech Talk with your host, Adelaide Tech Guy Richard Pascoe. Thanks to Harvey Norman Computers.
If you're new to the whole Black Friday sales phenomenon, don't worry. All you need to know is you'll save heaps on a new phone from Harvey Norman. Oppo is one of the biggest phone brands in the world, and they're making big waves in Australia now. The Oppo Find X5 Pro 5G will take your photography experience to new heights with an advanced camera system paired with super fast charging and 1 billion colour bionic display. Normally valued at $1,799, the Oppo Find X5 Pro is slashed to under $1,000. Buy it now from Harvey Norman for just $999. Why not treat yourself and start the new year with some amazing new tech? Your nearest Harvey Norman has all the latest.
Check out this great offer at 5AA.com.au. Thanks to Harvey Norman Computers.
Now, for kids, the best part about Christmas is waking up early, get to see what's under the tree. What about for grown-ups? Well, let's just say Christmas is covered with your pals at Parafield Airport Liquor Store, and we were just in there the other day.
We were, Will. Now, you don't need to extol the virtues of pals to me because I'm a member, and as you said, we were out there on Monday catching up with Sam and Jamie. This place really is, it really is something else. It's got such a sort of commitment to quality, and it's one of the reasons that I'm a pals member, because you can jump online if you think that, and you know, I mean, it's not like Salisbury's the Oodnadatta track. It's only half an hour's drive from where I live, and it was no hassle getting out there. But if transport's a problem, you can jump on their website and get them to deliver, which they did.
They've got the biggest range of unique and good stuff of anywhere in South Australia.
Yeah.
And what's more, if there's something you want to find, I had a great chat with the guys about the history of the store there. Sam was making the point, my people, the Poles, are a large reason why Pals became the powerhouse it is today, because people in the local community would come in and say, I want this obscure vodka from Poland. The guys would find, Sam and Jamie find this stuff. So you go in there and there's drinks from Croatia, Slovenia, Poland, Germany, you name it, it's in there. And that's not even beginning to talk about their incredible wine selection.
No, their wine is superb, and so much of it's local. And the really good thing, though, is their commitment to quality control. Sounds like a labour of love. Maybe I should apply for a job, because Sam, Jamie and the entire Powers team, they taste everything before it comes in, and it makes choosing easy because you can be confident when you purchase that there's no duds.
The other thing is, like a store with good old-fashioned service, you go in there and speak to the guys. Their favourite thing to do is you go in and say, hey, I love this type of wine. And they'll say, all right, we'll try this. Or you go and go, I want to try something different. I've been having this beer. I want to do something a little bit different. That's their favourite thing that can ever happen.
Yeah.
You go in there and, honestly, chatting with these guys about your next purchase, it makes the whole process fun.
I did an online order, and half of the things that I bought were based on tips that Jamie gave me, because I'm a big tequila and mezcal guy, and he said, oh, you got to try this new agave de maguey, this sort of crema version of mezcal. So I ordered one of them purely on his recommendation. So get into Powers, and if you can't get in there, check out their website. It's so easy to shop with Powers. Many businesses also choose to let Powers look after them, so you can sort out all your client gifts this Christmas. Visit Parafield Airport Liquor Store next to the wonderful Roulette's Tavern at Kings Road, Parafield.
5AA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head online to 5AA Facebook or search 5AA on YouTube. David Penberthy and Will Goodies, 5AA Breakfast.
20 minutes to 7, police and weather coming up in a moment. We're off to the US before 7 o'clock as well. Want to check in at Adelaide Airport. So, hearing some reports, there are lines out the door because some sort of technical issue seems to be holding people up. If you're stuck in that, call us on 822 300 or text us on the text line 0480 81395. Similarly, you might be watching along on the Facebook, YouTube and live stream, thanks to the excellent people at Foodland Supermarkets.
We've set up a new innovation this morning. It's not just Peter Shearer cam, it's also homemade spanakopita cam.
Oh, now, to save you having to pump up your own tyres, we've always said you're a master chef. This is just yet another exhibit in the gallery of greatness that is the David Penberthy kitchen. These things are just sensational.
3 cheeses.
You know what I like about you two? They're never small helpings.
No, you don't leave people hungry.
I've had spanakoppitas before. They tend to be small. These aren't small.
No.
This is like
leave you satisfied.
And they taste sensational. I haven't heard from Sam and Lucy at the moment because they've just been eating the whole time. They can't speak. Double thumbs up out there. Let's head to Adelaide Airport. Hayden Nelson for 7 News here in Adelaide is at the airport. Hayden, good morning to you, mate. What's happening out there?
G'day, Will. You were huge queues here this morning. At least 1,000 people who've come in to get their flights. There's been some delays with Virgin flights specifically. We've had some kind of clarification as to why that is. Virgin Airlines has told us there was a bay allocation issue at the airport, so there were 3 planes coming in. They only had 2 places to park. That's caused a trickle-down effect where you've got flights going to Sydney, Brisbane, Melbourne and the Gold Coast. They're all delayed. There was a lot of cheerleaders here who are leaving town for some state titles, so they've all been caught up in that. We've spoken to them. These queues have been out the door. We haven't seen anything like it here, despite all that we've seen over the past 6 months. So, look, quite a sight here at Adelaide Airport this morning.
Were the cheerleaders in their gear? What's the story with the cheerleaders? How bizarre.
Yeah, the cheerleaders there, the junior cheerleaders off for their state titles. So they've all gotten up early. They've come out to the airport. They are absolutely pumped to get on the plane and go up to the Gold Coast. So they weren't too deterred by the delays. So there was a bit of a wait in line for them just to be able to get onto the plane. And there was a bit of uncertainty if they'd make it in time. But look, everyone appears to be on board now. There was about a 50-minute delay on that flight. So, look, they'll get there eventually. They might miss their first heat, but I'm sure they'll be able to play the catch-up.
So just to be clear as we leave you, Hayden, with the situation as it stands right now, the line's progressing. Has it progressed to a point that everyone's inside the door, or is it still out into that concourse area?
It has. It's progressed, pretty significantly in the past hour or so. You can get through pretty much normally now, I'd say. A lot of that was around that morning peak. We all know that 6 a.m., that 5:30, 6 a.m. time, a huge peak time for the airport. It's a bit of a bottleneck here for sure, and this has just been a pretty, spectacular display of that, at least 1,000 people.
Yeah, the pictures are worth seeing. Hayden, appreciate it, mate. Thanks for your time. Hayden Nelson for 7 News Adelaide at the airport this morning. Let's head to Woodville because Peter's got something to say. Morning to you, Peter.
Morning, boys. I used to go to Nailsworth Tech in the 60s, and they shut it down 40 years ago. We used to learn the basics of metalwork, welding, soldering. In woodwork, we learnt the lathe, planing. I've still got furniture today that I made 40 years ago. And when I left school, I could have gone into any trade that I wanted to because I'd had 4 years of basic training. Whereas today, kids leaving school, all they can basically do is a mobile phone or a computer.
I totally agree with you, Peter. Well, I can remember growing up in Mitchell Park. 2 of my uncles went to Mitchell Park when it was a boys' tech school. There was Goody Tech. There were a lot of technical schools around Adelaide.
And even in grade 7, I went to Jeps Cross Primary. We had to ride our bike to Kilburn Primary to learn the basics of woodwork in grade 7. So we were right through, and I know a lot of friends that have branched out into trades. I'm 70-odd now, but I could have had a trade in all of those because I had the basic knowledge of it. I wouldn't have even able to make a toothpick before I went to school to learn all that.
What did you end up doing for a career, Peter?
Cleaner. And I went into printing and the government printing, and now I'm a cleaner and I'm still working today at 71.
Oh, good on you, sir.
Yeah,
good on you, Peter.
Right.
Great to hear from you, mate. Appreciate it. 8223 0000 is our number. You can text 2 and 0480 1395. We're going to check traffic, come back with some more weather information and check in with SAPOL as well. Incident at West Lakes, we'll get some more information for you on as well. Ritchie Brothers end of year unreserved auction, November 30 to December 1. Bid online at rbauction.com.au.
Thanks, Will, and good morning. And Jeps Cross got a crash and car fire, Port Wakefield Road near Whites Road. Stepney, traffic lights out of action there. Paynham Road near Stephen Terrace, while at Hampstead Gardens, got a burst water main slowing things up today. Muller Road near Paul Avenue, got one lane out of action too. Getting busy at the moment, South Road at Tonsley, as you're getting off the Southern Expressway. And we've got cameras Days Road, Angle Park, and Hanson Road at Apple Park. Target's Black Friday Festival is on now. Catch an amazing lineup of offers in-store and online. Hurry, the festival ends December 7. That's Target. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Everyday low prices, any time of year. Trust the mighty South Aussies. Great food lives here. Foodland, the mighty South Aussies, yeah. Foodland.
You're watching the 5AA live stream, thanks to Foodland.
The mighty South Aussies, yeah.
The new
barbecue for summer? Weber's Black Friday sale is on now. You'll get 10% off the entire Weber range of barbecues, including Weber Q, kettle, gas, charcoal, pellet, electric barbecues, and all Weber accessories. Weber's Black Friday sale, available at your nearest Weber store, Weber specialist dealers, and Weber.com. Hurry, sale must end Monday. Find out more at Weber.com. T's and C's apply.
Da-da-da-da! Barnsey here from Barbecue Adelaide Weber Stores. And our Black Friday sale is off tap. Get a Weber Baby Q1000 from just $299. Plus, get 10% off store-wide and 15% off all rubs. We'll even match any advertised price on the same product. For everything Barbie this Black Friday, head to Barbecue Adelaide Weber Stores, Jeb's Cross and Mile End. Sale on now and Cyber Monday, and prepare to get lit.
It isn't waste until you waste it. That's the catch cry from an amazing company called Eco Waste Solutions. Eco Waste Solutions is a hard waste recycling facility, not a dump, located at Williston. They'll take everything except hazardous waste and food scraps. They'll take your waste bricks, your mattresses, tyres, soil, timber, steel, concrete and more. Plus, if you pre-sort your load, you'll receive a 50% discount on disposal fees. Google Eco Waste Solutions Williston for more.
Will retirement living suit you? You're invited to FIVEAA's free open home events to get a sneak peek of the lifestyle you could look forward to. Come along with family and friends. You can explore our communities, inspect our display homes, discover our social activities and chat with our friendly team. With 3 events across Adelaide on the 10th of December, take the first step and search FIVEAA Open Home today. RSVP is essential and COVID-safe practices apply.
For more than 10 years, Brenton Raglas and Kate Collins have brought you all the big stories on 9 News.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
12 to 7, very pleasant sort of a day on the way. Mostly sunny, like seeing that in the forecast. Jenny Horvat is working at the Bureau this morning to put some meat on the bone for us. It feels, Jenny, like we're going to get pretty nice 48 hours ahead.
Yeah, that's right. So, Karen, we've got a high-pressure system sitting near Kangaroo Island, and that's keeping things pretty stable at the moment. There's a little bit of high cloud drifting across from the west, but we are in for pretty much a mostly sunny day. It was a little bit of a cool start. Minimum temperature of 8.7 happened at about 20 past 6 this morning. Temperatures are on the rise, though. Currently at our West Terrace Night Apira observation site, we are sitting on 9.7 degrees. We are aiming for 24 in the city, 25 about our northern suburbs. Along the coast there, 23 degrees. Likewise for up at Mount Barker, 23 degrees. We'll see that high pressure system today move across to the east, so by tomorrow it would have put us more in a northerly airstream, so those temperatures continue to rise. We are looking at a sunny day on Friday. We are aiming for a maximum temperature of around 31 degrees after a minimum temperature of 14 degrees. But unfortunately we're back to that cycle with the change coming through on the weekend. But Saturday will start off dry and warm. That minimum temperature only getting down to around 21 degrees for Saturday morning. We're trying to get to around 27. That'll be an early max before that change comes through during the afternoon. Could start to see those showers developing for late morning on the Saturday ahead of that change, with the showers coming through during the afternoon. We could see a possible thunderstorm as this system comes through again on the Saturday, but maybe this one's not looking as vigorous as some of the other systems that we have seen on previous weekends. Following the change, we'll remain in that cooler south to southwesterly airstream for Sunday, looking at a maximum temperature of around 20 degrees. Cooler start to next week, 19. Still the odd chance of a shower around, but things are really starting to dry up by Monday. Looking like Tuesday and Wednesday will be dry, and looking at temperatures of around 21, 22 degrees there, guys. Pretty variable for the winds out on the waters for today, so pretty light out there.
Lovely. Wonder if Matt Abraham will even turn up for his segment today with a forecast like that. That's great, Jenny.
Real danger.
Jenny Horvat there from the Weather Bureau. Thank you.
Let's head to SAPOS, and your Constable Kate Dawson joins us. Kate, there's been an arrest at Westlakes with relation to firearms offences.
Yeah, this was yesterday morning about 7:45. Police were called to a home on Lulworth Street after reports of a domestic incident. A witness who had been at the home reported that a man inside had possession of a firearm. So Western District Patrols quickly attended and they cordoned off the house before calling in our Star Group officers to assist. When Star arrived, they entered the home and arrested the suspect, who was a 50-year-old man, without incident, and they located 2 firearms, ammunition and a crossbow inside. So he was initially taken to hospital but has since been discharged, and he's been charged with numerous firearms offences. A 50-year-old woman who was also at the home was also arrested, and she's also been charged with the firearms offences. So they will both refuse bail, and they'll appear in the Adelaide Magistrates Court, the Port Adelaide Magistrates Court today. There were thankfully no other reported injuries, and the incident was contained within the home. But yeah, it would have been quite concerning for residents in the area. So we're just asking if anybody's got any other information that may assist us with this ongoing investigation to contact Crime Stoppers on 1800 333 000.
Yeah, pretty weird stuff. Kate, also there's been a break-in at a house in Modbury.
Yeah, you may have heard about this earlier in the week. The same home was broken into on Tuesday morning, but again now on Thursday morning, about 4:30am, the house was struck again, and we were called there for an alarm activation. So the home's on Burton Street in Modbury. We quickly attended the scene, but the suspects had unfortunately left before police arrived. So 2 men were seen leaving the area around the time of the break-in. Thankfully, no one was at home at the time of the incident. It doesn't appear that anything was stolen. We called in PD Judge to assist us with the search, but unfortunately he didn't locate anything. So we're just appealing for anybody who may have seen anything in the Modbury area last night, or 2 men leaving the scene or acting suspiciously, to contact Crime Stoppers on 1800 333 000. It's really concerning that this home was targeted again.
Absolutely.
And you got pole air onto a runner.
Yeah, this was about 12:15 this morning. Patrol spotted a black Subaru travelling at high speed on Walker Avenue in Campbelltown. They tried to pull it over, but the vehicle failed to stop and, sped off from them. So they didn't pursue it at this time, as our Pol Air happened to be in the area. So they were quickly overhead and tracked the vehicle as it drove erratically through some back streets before coming to a stop in Reed Avenue at Felixstowe. So the driver then ran from the car, and he was chased on foot by our patrols, who were able to run him down in Drag Reserve, just on the banks of the River Torrens. I guess it was probably too cold for him to go for a swim. So he was a 42-year-old Aldgate man who's been arrested and charged with driving offences, including drive without due care and fail to stop. And he's also been refused bail and will appear in the Adelaide Magistrates Court today.
Great work there.
Thank you. Senior Constable Kate Dawson from SAPO. I got a text from Phil saying, boys, what's going on with petrol prices? Just went past the servo that I got fuel at last night for $1.69. This morning, $2.09. That's 40 cents. 40 cents in less than 12 hours. What the hell? It's a reasonable question to ask, Phil. Not sure if you caught Fuel Watch just the other day, but what I said then holds true right as this moment. If you look at the benchmark oil prices per barrel around the world right now, so you've got West Texas crude, Brent crude in the UK. West Texas crude out of the United States is under $80 a barrel for the first time in a long time. And the long time includes the start of the war in Ukraine that drove all these prices up and necessitated that change to the fuel excise in Australia. So we artificially got 21.5 cents or thereabouts off the price. $84 Brent crude. All these benchmarks, if you look at it, are back to where things were at before Russia invaded Ukraine. There must be a localised problem to see that go up 40 cents in that period of time. They must have got caught in some way, because there's certainly no global factor that's leading to rises that dramatically in that shorter period of time.
A few other texts on the text line that Will's chosen not to read. I will, of course, read them out. One here about his Peter Shearer clobber today, his get-up, his gear. Is that the Richie Benno white, off-white, cream or beige jacket? One listener asks.
The bone.
The bone, that's right.
It's the bone.
Then Mick says, geez, the 5AA studio looks like an episode of Miami Vice. Will is Donnie Johnson in the white suit with no socks. Dave is the dishevelled crook on the run from the law. And Kaz in Brompton says, morning all, love the disparity in male couture on display.
Couture even. Oh,
Couture.
dear. I'm not sure about that. But Peter Shearer, of course, just they do magnificent work.
Also, I was wrong. I don't know who sent this in. Apparently, you can still get your saw blade sharpened if you've got really good saws and you want to take care of them.
5 minutes to 7. Let's head to the US. Unfortunately, the biggest story coming out of the States this morning is an appalling one. Another mass shooting in the United States, this time at a Walmart. David Woiwod joins us. David, good morning. Just take us through what happened here.
Morning, guys. Yeah, another deadly attack here in America overnight. 6 dead, 6 more injured. A Walmart worker, a manager, has opened fire inside the break room of a Virginia store. Look, there was little police could do when they arrived. The gunman had already turned the weapon on himself. Look, the gunman had no social media accounts, and police are yet to release a photo of him. He does not appear to have had a criminal record. His motivation is also unclear, of course, making it hard for the families of those caught up in this attack. Everyone's been calling him weird. That's some of the reporting that's been getting around today. A bit of a loner, an all too familiar story here in America, of course, as we see it day in, day out. And sadly, it's been a deadly week here in America as well. 5 killed in Colorado just a few days ago at the Q Club there. And more details coming out about that gunman as well and the brave patrons who helped to subdue him.
Yeah, it's hard to know what to say about these stories anymore in a way, isn't it, David? Because it doesn't change anything, does it?
No, and it's day in, day out kind of stuff. Like, you almost don't flinch sometimes because you hear another 6, another 7, another 4, another 5, and it just doesn't sort of register. And I heard some reporting last night. It's under 10, and that was almost a good line that some of the police were going with. They were almost celebrating the fact that it was under 10 deaths. So, what can you say?
Yeah, it's really hard to relate to as an Australian. It's, I can remember so clearly the day the Port Arthur massacre happened at the Tiser, and then following John Howard after that. Now, he totally read the national mood so right. And it's such an alien concept for us in Australia. Good on you, David. David Woywood there for 7 News in the US. We have a cheerleaders update.
Oh, do we?
We do, yes. Colleen. Thanks to Colleen. The cheerleaders are still not in the air. Colleen's granddaughter is one of them who's meant to be getting on the plane this morning. So come on.
Well, we need to get our girls there to bring home another national title.
Well, you know what they should? They should at least be able to put the pressure on the airport by forming into like a pyramid shape and going, 1, 2, 3, 4. What have we been queuing for? It starts some sort of dance,
like turning their cheerleading skills to a political cause.
Exactly.
They could also probably help land the aircraft, couldn't they, with the pom-poms and... Well, they think
you wouldn't want to get your dance step wrong.
No, that's
true. Send a plane through a plate glass window.
2 minutes to 7, 5AA News is coming up. We'll take you through some of the stories of the morning next, and Matthew Abraham will be in the studio after 7:30.
This is RB Day with more tales from the bedroom thanks to Supercraft Bedding. Supercraft Bedding has been handcrafting mattresses since 1873. Now you'd think there's a bit of waste. Well, we've been recycling before it was on trend. Leftover foam is crumbed up and made into special positioning pillows for hospitals or affordable pillows for charity. This is RB Day for Supercraft Bedding, building better beds at 42 Richmond Road, Keswick.
Switch on Black Friday at Officeworks. Get the Blaupunk 55-inch 4K Smart TV for $487 or the Keji Gaming Pack Combo for $25. Hurry into Officeworks for lower prices.
As we get older, we all want to enjoy healthy, independent lives in our own homes for as long as possible.
Now, did you know that Southern Cross Care provide in-home nursing 7 days a week? And look, they're such a professional outfit. Their qualified nurses can meet your individual needs with a whole range of tailored services. They include medication management, wound care, home hospital services, nurse counselling, referrals and case conferencing, all in the privacy and comfort of your own home.
Plus, there's no setup and or exit fees with Southern Cross Care's home care services, giving you extra peace of mind. Their full service approach is wonderfully simple, high-quality services tailored to individual needs with no need to worry about coordinating services, budgets, suppliers or paperwork.
To find out more, visit southerncrosscare.com.au or give them a call on 1800 852 772.
Harvey Norman, Big Friday. Stores open 8 a.m. tomorrow. Up to 30% off Windows 11 computers. Hisense 98-inch TV for under $5,000. Purchase a selected Australian-made queen-size mattress and for $1 more, upgrade to a king-size. Everdure Furnace 3-burner barbecue with bonus cover and warming rack for $993. Terms, conditions and exclusions apply. Trading hours may vary. Big Friday. Stores open 8 a.m. tomorrow at Harvey Norman.
Go! 5AA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head online to 5AA Facebook or search 5AA on YouTube. Online, on DAB Digital Radio and on 1395 AM. Talking Adelaide. This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Mostly sunny and 24 today with the 7 o'clock news. I'm Mel Usher.
Hydrotherapy at Physio Extra Marion has individual sessions and classes claimable on private health and NDIS.
It's been a slow start to the day for anyone flying out of Adelaide. Airport queues were out the door, but it's now moving. Hayden Nelson from 7 News is there.
There's been some delays with Virgin flights specifically. We've had some kind of clarification as to why that is. Virgin Airlines has told us there was a bay allocation issue at the airport, so there were 3 planes coming in. They only had 2 places parked.
The cyber attack on Optus has seen a rise in telco customers complaining about privacy and termination issues. Telecommunications Industry Ombudsman Cynthia Gabert says the effects of the hack were reflected in the latest data.
We did see a big uplift in that last week of September when immediately after the privacy breach, where people were really anxious and concerned about what was going on. We have seen that drop off now into October, where we are seeing customers now still working through what the implications of the breach are for them.
A nuclear energy forum is being held at Parliament House today, bringing together MPs, industry experts and scientists. The former head of Australia's nuclear science is urging the federal government to be fully informed about the energy option. Well, Scotland is being blocked from independence by the UK Supreme Court. The country cannot hold a second referendum on whether it should leave Great Britain without approval from the British Parliament. Scottish First Minister Nicola Sturgeon says her next election campaign will be based solely around the question of independence.
We must and we will find another democratic, lawful and constitutional means by which the Scottish people can express their will. In my view, that can only be an election.
We're being urged to make smart decisions if taking part in the Black Friday and Cyber Monday sales. The advice is do your research and shop around, keep personal details secure and check estimated delivery times. Minister for Consumer and Business Affairs Andrea Michaels says Australians are expected to spend big over the next few days.
Estimates are about $10 billion over these 4 days between Black Friday and Cyber Monday, and Boxing Day sales last year were about $8 billion, so we're expecting it to be big.
7 people are dead after another shooting in the US. This time a manager at a Walmart in Chesapeake, Virginia, opened fire on employees before turning the gun on himself. And a criminal barrister has been accused of trawling Tinder in the middle of a Supreme Court hearing. A complaint has been made interstate against the inappropriate behaviour. Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Gliderroll Garage Doors' new Platinum and Native Series sectional doors are here. Gliderroll.com.au.
And it's over to Tom Wren.
Thank you, Mel. The Socceroos remain hopeful of advancing to the knockout stages of the FIFA World Cup despite a 4-1 thumping by France in their opening match. Australia's lone goal scorer yesterday, that's Adelaide United captain Craig Goodwin, says they'll come out firing against Tunisia on Saturday night.
I think everyone in the group is really confident that we can get something out of this game. Obviously Tunisia drew with Denmark, which leaves the table wide open. 2 games left to go and we have to play both Tunisia and Denmark. And we've said from the start we don't want to be here just to make up the numbers, and we believe in the group that we have, and we believe that we're going to do something special.
Yeah, let's hope that's right. In other matches, Spain smashed Costa Rica 7-0. Japan came from a goal down to beat Germany 2-1. While Croatia and Morocco played out a 0-0 draw, and there's about 20 minutes to play in the late game. It's Belgium currently leading Canada 1-0. To cricket, and Justin Langer has ignited a war of words with Cricket Australia ahead of the Test summer. The former coach claims some of the players acted like cowards by undermining him in the media. Meantime, the Brisbane Heat thrashed the Hobart Hurricanes last night in the Women's Big Bash elimination final. The Heat will now play against the Adelaide Strikers tonight for a spot in the WBBL final, and that match will also be played at Karen Rolton Oval. Well, the Queensland PGA Championship has started, and Cam Smith and Adam Scott, 2 of the stars of the show, are currently on course in the same group, and they're currently even par through the opening couple of holes. To boxing, Paul Gallen has defeated Justin Hodges by a unanimous decision in the final chapter of his sporting career. Gallen won on a unanimous points decision. And Aussie Ben Simmons has just missed out on a triple-double playing against his old side, the Philadelphia 76ers. Finishing with 11 points, 11 assists and 7 rebounds, but it wasn't enough as his Brooklyn Nets went down 115 to 106. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Now checking 5AA traffic.
Samri. They don't grade cheese, they do great things. Get into it at samri.org.au.
Hey, Jeb's Christ, look out for a crash and car fire. Port Wakefield Road near Whites Road. Anglevale Road near Short Road, Anglevale has got some works. Speeds are now to 25 k's, and we're slow going for works at Fullerton for the intersection upgrade of Fullerton Road and Cross Road. Busy right now, South Road at Tonsley with the camera at Goddard Drive at Salisbury Park. Want to get Chrissy sorted early? Shop epic deals, electronics, homewares, beauty and more with Amazon's Black Friday sale on now at amazon.com.au. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA forecast.
See any issue firsthand with AutoCam. Real-time video, direct to you from your Automaster's technician.
24 today, mostly sunny, sunny tomorrow 31, Saturday a shower or two and 27. Right now it's 10 degrees. More news as it happens on 5AA.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings. 5AA Breakfast.
6 after 7, good morning to you. Welcome to Thursday. If you're joining us for the first time, you're doing so as the sun has emerged over the hills and it's illuminating what is a pretty nice morning in Adelaide ahead of what's going to be a beautiful sunny day and ahead of a really lovely 48-hour period. Let's not talk too much beyond that because we can't count on anything beyond that at the moment weather-wise.
But the optimists are in charge at the Weather Bureau. The forecast today says mostly sunny, and Will is, of course, dressed accordingly thanks to Peter Shearer, who'll probably be mixing himself a Never Never gin and tonic, or maybe something from Prohibition Gin later on.
You'll like this.
Putting on his copy of Gets Gilberto, a bit of da-da-da-da, da-ba-da-ba-da-da, da-ba-da-da.
You know me so well.
Da-ba-da.
Our Aberdeen correspondent Dave Lloyd says you could run a Peter Shearer contest, name today's outfit. He says, I'd call today's outfit a day at the races. You can get 25% off store-wide at Peter Shearer's Black Friday sale. Includes all new season items in-store and online. Always Peter Shearer Men's. We really enjoyed the conversation we started over the first hour of the program about the training people got younger in life and what it set you up for work-wise and how it did or didn't inform the career that you ultimately went into. We do so, of course, on a day where a list of the 110 free courses to be delivered by TAFE SA through the Interim National Skills Agreement has been released. First full detailed release of this in the country. It will be happening state by state, federal government partnership with the states and territories worth in excess of $1 billion, 180,000 free TAFE positions across the country in 2023. And so we've used this as a starting point to get a sense of how our listeners got into the careers they got into and training they did, be it a tech college or otherwise. Did it help you out? Did it not? Love to hear your story, 8223 or you can text us on 044808 1395. This is somewhat concerning. 4 species of possums found in North Queensland could be completely wiped out by 2050, according to scientists.
4 species of possums found in North Queensland could be completely wiped out by 2050, according to scientists. The Lemuroid, green, Herbert River and Daintree River ringtail species are all under threat. Rising temperatures are being blamed for their steady decline.
I didn't know there were different species of possums. I thought a possum was a possum was a possum.
I knew there were ringtail possums.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
But beyond that, no, I wasn't aware of the others. But 4 of them wiped out in the next, 25 years?
They sound like quite distinct species in a very small geographical area. Why don't you tell them apart? Just probably by their driver's license.
North Queensland, you're talking rainforest. So if they're set to go, it's a pretty fragile ecosystem. You wonder if there's other things to go with them.
I wonder if it means cassowaries are going to start moving south. How long have we got?
Before they're nasty creatures, those things.
There's that bloke had one as a pet who died in America a couple of years ago. I was watching my son Sam, when he goes to bed, he likes watching mini documentaries on YouTube, and we watched 10 most dangerous birds. The most dangerous bird being a thing called the pitui or something, which is from Papua New Guinea, the world's only poisonous bird.
Yeah, no thanks.
Yeah.
Hey, you're going to like this because this is a story that you made a point in farce about. That's actually, it's played out in reality. You famously suggested that these gluing themselves to painting protesters seem to think they're sort of modern-day Rosa Parks. You could not have been more right, David Penberthy. There has been a trial in the UK for 2 who glued themselves to the Vincent van Gogh painting and damaged the frame. Just Stop Oil protesters Lewis McKechnie and Emily Bronkelbank caused about £2,000 worth of damage to the frame of peach trees in blossom at London's Courtauld Gallery. McKechnie was jailed for 3 weeks. Brocklebank received a suspended sentence. In her defence, young Emily Brocklebank, 23, said, "I didn't think it would cause much damage. Glue comes off." The frame of the painting is over 200 years old. McKechnie, he's got a litany of this sort of climate-related stupidity. He's been to prison for breaching an injunction designed to prevent road blockades. He's been in prison for aggravated trespass after he tied himself to a goalpost at a Premier League match. He's the one who's really up the ante here. So giving evidence, he compared his actions to Martin Luther King.
Yeah, right, okay.
He said in 1960, Martin Luther King was the most hated man in America and the civil rights movement still worked. Martin Luther King, of course, famously after the Rosa Parks wouldn't get up on the bus to give her position to a white person, started the protest that led to change on the buses, whereby all the African-American people suddenly said, well, we're not going to take the bus. They were the biggest patrons of the public transport service, and that necessitated the change in that law.
See, I'd like to see this guy walk through South Central LA comparing himself to Martin Luther King, because he strikes me as sort of white, entitled, middle-class idiot who knows nothing about history.
Here they are.
I'm sorry, everybody, we don't want to be doing this. We're here to lose this painting, beautiful painting, because we're terrified for our future. We're here from Just Stop Oil. We expect to be arrested today. We're here because the UK government is pushing through over 40 new fossil fuel projects. And with every single project they sign, it's like signing our death warrants. My generation has no other choice but to take this kind of action. For 30 years we've been outside Parliament with our banners and our flags, and for 30 years nothing has gotten done. If there were any other way of getting the change we need, we would have done it. We've tried everything else.
Needs to work on the turn of phrase. It's not quite I had a dream.
No, exactly, yeah, free at last, free at last.
Big story out of Scotland this morning as well. The UK Supreme Court has ruled the Scottish government cannot hold a second referendum on independence without the approval of British Parliament. This dates back to amendments made back in 1998, but essentially means that Scottish First Minister Nicola Sturgeon's promise that October next year a second independence vote would go ahead has been quashed. It simply cannot happen. It was being called an advisory advisory vote, should I say, on secession in October, but it's unlawful according to the UK Parliament. Now, you can imagine pro-independent Scots being told that they can't have an independence vote is going over fairly poorly. Here is Nicola Sturgeon.
Any partnership in any walk of life that requires one party to seek the consent of another to choose its own future is not voluntary, it is not a partnership at all. And while today's ruling may create temporary relief on the part of unionist politicians and parties, they should know the hardest questions that have been posed today are questions for them, because they are questions about the future and the basis of the United Kingdom. Now, the Westminster establishment may think it can block a referendum, but let me be clear, I am sure on your behalf today, no establishment, Westminster or otherwise, will ever silence the voice of the Scottish people.
Pretty ham-fisted way to stop them from doing it, isn't it?
The argument from the UK side of things is, look, there's a cost of living crisis, there's bigger fish to fry at the moment than your independence vote, essentially. The vote in 2014, 55% of Scots rejected independence, but the argument from Nicola Sturgeon and other pro-independence MPs in that country is that Brexit changed everything. Brexit deeply unpopular in Scotland. They enjoy being part of the European Union, and politically, right now, Rishi Sunak and the Conservatives are polling about 15% in Scotland. So the Nicola Sturgeon and others are saying that there is impetus for change, and that this is pretty disrespectful to Scots to not allow it to go ahead. 15 after 7, got some calls on jobs and trades this morning. Paul in Port Noarlunga South is on the line. Morning to you, Paul.
Good morning, boys. I went to Kangaroo Island in about 64 and worked with contractors putting up power lines because they had no power on KI in those days. Then when they finished with all of us, I joined ETSA in 1966. and went to 6 different depots, and I'm 74 now, and I've just retired at 71.
Oh, good on you, Paul.
Did you enjoy your working life, looking back
Oh,
on it, Paul?
yeah,
Sounds like you did.
it was a good firm to work for, and I've had 51 years service. They give you a gold watch at 25 years, but I wanted another one when the 50 years come up, and they wouldn't give it to me.
Good on you, Paul.
Cheap sods.
Ben and Christie's Beach, good morning.
Morning, boys. My background, I left school in year 11 and then went and did some training at TAFE, some cookery training, and finished that. Went and worked in kitchens across Adelaide and that. And my dad and his dad were both cooks, and he said to me one day, are you fulfilled when you go to work? And funnily enough, being screamed at by the head chef every day isn't very fulfilling. So I decided to follow a different path, and I had a mate that worked in the disability industry, and he said, you should join it, you'd be great. And I've been doing that almost 12 years, and I think I've found my niche. And my dad said, if you find a job you love, you'll never work a day in your life. And I live by that every day. I love it.
So did you go back to TAFE, Ben, to study, to do work in that field?
Well, not TAFE, but another organisation that did a Cert 3, and now I've been doing it for 12 years and love it.
Fantastic,
well, that's
Ben.
good, Ben.
Love hearing stories like that. Thank you. We'll take one more. Philip in Hyde Park, good morning.
Good morning, boys. I went to Westminster School in 1962, and in 1966 finished. School had a thing about art they saw in me. I applied for the South Australian School of Art for tertiary studies and received a letter saying, sorry, you weren't accepted. And so the next day I went into the art school. They let me talk to the deputy head, Des Bettany, his name was, and he said to me, well, Philip, sorry, you're bad luck, but I had a number of 4 or 5 students who didn't accept their positions. Would you like one of those? I'll see you tomorrow.
Oh,
And
wow.
so
Wow. Persistence paid off.
Yeah.
It's also a particularly special moment for me today because that school, Westminster, I present my final report as chairman after 13 years, back at the school, giving back, and
Beautiful.
It's done a full circle.
Well, congratulations to you, Philip. That's a terrific story. Great story of persistence as well.
Got a lovely
Good
reputation,
life lesson.
Westminster. 2 of my cousins went there, and everyone I know who's gone to Westminster is really happy with it.
Yeah. Appreciate your call, Philip. Thank you.
Not that, we're around the corner of Marion High. So thought they bit up themselves at the time.
8223 is our number. Jade Riley's been out catching up with our favourite businesses, and we can just have a little listen into a catch up with Zoos SA.
Today, I'm talking to Elaine Benstead, who is the CE of Adelaide Zoo and Monarto Safari Park. Elaine, you've got some wonderful animal experiences for the whole family to enjoy over the coming months.
We most certainly do. Animal experiences are such a fabulous gift. People can buy vouchers and just watch the smile on their family or friends' faces. Some of the most popular ones, Lions 360 at Monarto Safari Park, where you can just get surrounded by lions. A brand new one called Land of the Lemurs, where you walk through this beautiful area at Monarto Safari Park, surrounded by a whole group of lemurs as well as some tortoises. And then we've got our giraffe feeds, which are both Adelaide Zoo and Monarto Safari Park. Always incredible just to get that close to those majestic giraffes.
Elaine, last year my husband and I bought a voucher for our family to go and have the Lion 360-degree experience, which they absolutely loved, especially the kids. They just think it's so exciting.
Absolutely, and it's something that can be for all ages, Jane. So it is absolutely suitable to everyone, and it doesn't matter how many times people do it. It is just so awe-inspiring to be that close to those majestic lions, but also know that it's helping us do conservation to help the lions in the wild.
Look, thank you so much for being part of 5AA's 12 Days of Christmas. Wishing you a fabulous Christmas and all the staff and all the animals that you look after.
Thank you so much. We're very lucky with such dedicated staff and our team of volunteers. So to help us make sure we give the top care to our animals, but also the top care to our visitors.
And in the spirit of Christmas giving, we've got a family voucher to Monarto Safari Park to give away. We'll give it away to the first caller through on 8223 0055. That includes a Land of the Lemurs experience. This Christmas, go wild with Adelaide Zoo and Monarto Safari Park. Gift memberships and experiences are available right now.
If you want to build a new home, something that reflects you and your lifestyle, then you really need to speak with Beechwood Homes. And just so you know, they won't try and sell you a house plan. In fact, there's no house plans until you tell them what you want. So go for it. Start thinking of all the possibilities or get in touch with Beechwood Homes for a few thought starters. Life's good. It's even better in a Beechwood home. Google Beechwood Adelaide.
Right now, there has never been a better time to save on Cooper tyres. Every Cooper tyre is on sale. You heard it right. This is a massive Cooper tyre sale like you have never seen before. Guaranteed to last up to 80,000 Ks. They're better value than ever. Visit coopertyres.com.au to find your nearest authorised retailer. T's and C's apply. In-store only. Be quick. Offer available for a limited time. Cooper Tyres. Tyres worth owning.
In parts of Norway, it's not uncommon for homeowners to find a polar bear in their driveway. And in Adelaide, polar bear sightings are on the rise thanks to Polar Air Heating and Cooling. The only bear you'll see is on the side of our vans. For a home as cool as a Norwegian chalet, call Polar Air Heating and Cooling for professional and prompt installation. Polar Air Heating and Cooling. When your lair is unbearable. polarairhc.com.au.
Concrete. It's not always dull and grey. At Outback Sleepers, our concrete is stylish and inspiring. Outback Sleepers come in a variety of colours and patterns, from plain through to sandstone, rock and slate textures, and they're all designed to last for generations by a company that only manufactures concrete sleepers. If your builder is not using Outback Sleepers, you need to be asking why not. Trust the brand Outback Sleepers, sold at over 60 local landscaping and hardware stockists. outbacksleepers.com.au.
At Steinborner, it's always been well worth the trip. Now we're evolving to include Steinborner Electric, where it's well worth the trip to the future. With Hyundai, Kona Extended Range, Ioniq Electric and Ioniq 5, Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross Plug-in Hybrid, all-new Outlander Plug-in Hybrid, Ford Escape PHEV and e-Transit. And now the new Benzina Zero Electric scooters and mopeds. Thinking electric vehicles? There's only one place to go. Steinborner Electric. It's well worth the trip to the future.
For more than 10 years, Brenton Raglas and Kate Collins have brought you all the big stories on 9 News.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
23 after 7, important message from the AMA here in South Australia. Dr. Michelle Atchinson's on the line, talking about a component of the flood relief and flood mitigation strategies that we haven't spent a whole lot of time discussing yet, but deserve some air, and that's how and what provisions are being made to make sure people can get still access to healthcare. Doctor, good morning to you. What would you like to see happen? What needs to happen between now and the peak in a couple of weeks' time?
Well, we know that the flood's coming, so we need to get our health services and everyone who's up there in the Riverland prepared for that. It's clear, of course, that when roads start closing, we're going to have difficulty accessing our health services. Be that, the ambulances trying to get to people, or people trying to get to their appointments, or even staff, I suppose, trying to get to their places of work. So the AMA's calling on people to start thinking about that now, both government, and I know that there's already been some decisions about mental health care and funding there, but also the public, so that they can start getting themselves prepared now, so that we can kind of keep our health services going as best possible without an extra burden.
Is there a particular issue as well, Dr. Atchison, involving older people? Because knowing the river reasonably well and having friends and family who live there, there's a lot of towns that would, I suspect, have a higher than average number of retirees and even people in aged care as well.
Well, obviously, aged care is going to be a whole issue, isn't it? About whether those places are going to be affected by floods, whether people need to be moved. But people, I suppose anyone, especially the elderly, who may have health problems, start planning now. Go and get all your scripts filled now. If you need medical appointments, try and do that now, so that we're not in a couple of weeks' time suddenly going, oh my gosh, I can't get to a doctor, I can't get my scripts, I can't get, my RAT tests and other things that I might need to get myself through the time of the flood.
Yeah, it's an important message, and we appreciate you delivering it here on 5AA Breakfast. Dr. Michelle Atchison, the president of the AMA here in South Australia. Let's turn our attention to sport. You can enjoy the same feeling you get with a new Toyota on a Toyota certified pre-owned one. That is North Point Toyota. Love this chat Rowie and Timmy G had last night with Craig Goodwin's fiancée.
I just remember looking at him afterwards on the pitch, and I could see him wiping his tears out of his eyes. Would be like a kid at Christmas right now, and like the smile on his face, I don't think will go away for a long time.
He scored, he did his traditional goodie celebration where he looks up to the stars with his arms in the air. He pointed back to the cross, which was world class by Matty Leckie. His teammates got all around him, and then he dropped to his haunches and like he was kissing the dirt or praying or whatnot. Did you speak to him about that? Because that looked very emotional, Kate.
I think a lot of it comes back to his mama who passed away, which is why he celebrates at the heavens, but I think Flores, that's his idol, and I know that he did that same celebration. I think it was for the Spanish World Cup, and I know that that's just something his idol is, and now he's doing it himself, living it out his own dream.
It was a great moment. Lovely interview they had last night.
That's a really good get, the guy's getting her. That's terrific.
Yeah, over there watching him do it all.
Fantastic.
Lovely chat, and they'll have more of that excellent stuff. Rowie and Timmy G, thanks to North Point Toyota. They'll make sure you feel just like you've got a new car with a Toyota certified pre-owned Toyota. Michael in Seaford, congratulations to you, Michael. You're off to the Monarto Safari Park. That's going to be excellent. We love Monarto Safari Park. They've got the Land of the Lemurs experience included in that as well. That is going to be one hell of a good time.
Love the lemurs.
All thanks to our 12 Days of Christmas. Jane Riley getting out and about and just seeing what South Australian businesses have to offer.
Naomi's texted in saying, morning guys, if Will was wearing a tie, the KFC colonel would be asking for his suit back. Thank you for that, Naomi. And Mark on the Foodland Supermarkets live stream said that I should have worn my white jacket. Well, unfortunately, mine's dead.
Yours got retired, didn't it?
It just became irreparably damaged at a cocktail event. And, yes, it's in the bin.
Okay.
I know that looks like my size.
Valet white, yeah. Well, there might be some exciting news before the end of the program. 5AA News is coming up. Matt Abraham next.
This is RB Day with more tales from the bedroom, thanks to Supercraft Bedding. Supercraft Bedding has been recycling before it was on trend. Did you know that we'll pick up your old mattress when we deliver your new one and have the old one recycled? The other day, Tim picked up a 45-year-old mattress that was made by us. Sure, it had seen better days, but what an innings. This is RB Day for Supercraft Bedding, building better beds at 42 Richmond Road, Keswick.
Hey, how did you get a next-gen Ranger?
Picked it up from my Ford dealer last week. They had plenty of the XL, the XLS, and...
Thanks, mate!
Yeah, okay, bye.
Get into your Ford dealership quick and get into a next-gen Ranger quicker with XL and XLS in stock right now.
I'll take the blue one, please.
T's and C's apply. See Ford.com.au for details.
Now, we all know about Black Friday sales, but have you heard about Black and White Friday? Adelaide Zoo and Monarto Safari Park invite you to take advantage of a range of specially discounted experiences on their favourite black and white residents.
And look, be it in the city or out at Monarto, there's so much to choose from. Talking about the Adelaide Zoo, you can meet the playful pandas and penguins, the black and white rhinos and the ring-tailed lemurs at Land of the Lemurs at Monarto Safari Park, as we just heard about with Jane. Now, these fantastic Black and White Friday offers are available now, and they would make a wild Christmas present.
All you need to do is use the promo code black and white in one word at the checkout on their websites. Black and white, one word. Head to zoos.com.au/Black White Weekend. Adelaide Zoo and Monarto Safari Park for great experiences this Christmas. Shop now at zoosa.com.au.
5AA's Tech Talk with your host, Adelaide Tech Guy Richard Pascoe. Thanks to Harvey Norman Computers.
If you're new to the whole Black Friday sales phenomenon, don't worry. All you need to know is you'll save heaps on a new phone from Harvey Norman. Oppo is one of the biggest phone brands in the world and they're making big waves in Australia now. Experience immersive entertainment, view vivid and colourful images, perfect for today's trendsetters. The Oppo Find X5 5G sports a frosted matte glass with a silky gloss feel, but what really makes it stand out for the crowd is its powerful 50 megapixel camera and vivid colour screen with 1 billion colour display. Normally valued at $1,399, the Oppo Find X5 is slashed to $899. Why not treat yourself and start the new year with some amazing new tech? Your nearest Harvey Norman has all the latest.
Check out this great offer at fiveaa.com.au. Thanks to Harvey Norman Computers.
This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Mostly sunny and 24 today with the 7:30 news. I'm Mel Usher.
Keep in shape with physio-instructed clinical Pilates and gym classes at 6 locations. physioextra.com.
A Modbury home has been broken into for the second time in days. The home on Burton Street was ransacked by two men wearing masks just before midnight on Tuesday. The 69-year-old homeowner was struck in the face with a door, suffering minor facial injuries. Senior Constable Kate Dawson says she wasn't home when intruders struck again early this morning.
The suspects had unfortunately left before police arrived, so two men were seen leaving the area around the time of the break-in. Thankfully, no one was at home at the time of the incident. It doesn't appear that anything was stolen. We called in PD Judge to assist us with the search, but unfortunately he didn't locate anything.
A man has been seriously injured in a dog attack near Tailem Bend. It's believed the owner attempted to break up two fighting dogs when one attacked him yesterday afternoon. The 40-year-old received punctures to both arms and was taken to Murray Bridge Hospital before being flown to Adelaide. We could soon be forking out more at the checkout, with food suppliers warning of double-digit rises in the cost of some items over the next 2 years. The increases driven up by supply chain, labour shortages and natural disasters. Independent Food Distributors Australia's Richard Forbes says we need a national plan to deal with unprecedented challenges.
Unless we have a national food security plan, for the first time ever, we can't stabilise food prices. So we're calling on the federal government to take this seriously.
Popular fashion brands are being criticised for not following through on human rights commitments. Zara and Jeans West have topped Oxfam's naughty list for the year for a lack of transparency about supply chain and wage issues. Oxfam Australia's Lynn Morgan hopes it encourages people to shop mindfully.
There are a range of choices, some of them very good and some of them very bad, and that what shoppers need to do is to pay attention to the information that's out there to ensure that their purchasing power is used for good.
The European Space Agency has welcomed several new astronauts. Carrie-Anne Greenbank has the story.
The European Space Agency has recruited its first astronaut with a physical disability. British Paralympic sprinter John McFall has been selected, along with 5 other astronauts and 11 reservists. The new astronauts will now undertake a 3-year training program in Germany. Their mission to construct a new outpost to orbit the moon, with the goal of one day getting to Mars.
Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Gliderall Garage Doors, adding strength, safety and style to South Australian homes for over 40 years. Gliderall.com.au.
And it's all happening in Qatar. Let's talk to Tom Wren and see what is happening.
Absolutely, Mel. It's the World Cup and the final match of the morning has played out. Belgium just holding on for a 1-0 win. That was against Canada, who were desperately unlucky not to get more out of a match. They often dominated.
It is now or never. It's never. So the Belgian heavyweights did land the only punch, but boy, did Canada have them pinned to the ropes for a while.
Yeah, they certainly did. Audio there thanks to SBS. Now, in other matches, Japan came from a goal down to upset Germany 2-1. Spain crushed Costa Rica 7-0, while Croatia and Morocco played out a 0-0 draw. Well, former Australian coach Justin Langer has ignited a war of words with Cricket Australia ahead of the Test summer, claiming some of the players acted like cowards by undermining him in the media. Meantime, the Prime Minister's 11 finished at 9 for 297 after day one of the 4-day tour game against the West Indies in Canberra. Queensland batsman Matt Renshaw's good forms continued. He top scored with 81 for the PM side. To golf, the Queensland PGA Tournament is underway at Royal Queensland and red-hot favourite Cam Smith has made a slow start. He's currently 1 over through 3 holes. New South Welshman Nick Flanagan has the early lead at 2 under. And footballer turned boxer Paul Gallen has drawn the curtain on his sporting career with one last fight against an old NRL rival. After defeating Justin Hodges by unanimous decision at the ICC, Gallen told Fox Sports he's had enough.
I just can feel inspiring in my training. I've just slowed down. I mean, with all respect to Hodjo, I think 12 months ago I probably maybe win a bit more convincingly, but everyone slows down in life at some stage, and I think it's hit me now, so it's time to pull the pin.
And Mel, that is the 5AA Sport.
Thank you. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Samri. They don't grade cheese, they do great things. Get into it at samri.org.au.
At Paraka, look out for a smash on Main North Road near Pratt Avenue. Jeps Cross got a crash and car fire. That's Port Wakefield Road near Whites Road, causing a few delays. Busy at the moment, South Road at Tonsley, getting off the Southern Expressway. And we've got cameras today, Addison Road, Pennington, and the North-South motorway at Waterloo Corner. Jack Miller returns to race in the Australian Superbike Championship at the Ben Motorsport Park tomorrow until Sunday. Tickets at the gates or at theben.com.au. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA forecast.
See any issue firsthand with AutoCam. Real-time video, direct to you from your Automaster's technician.
A mostly sunny Thursday on the way, 24. Sunny tomorrow, 31. Saturday, a shower or two, 27. Sunday, a shower or two and 20. Right now, it's 12 degrees. More news as it happens on 5AA.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings. 5AA Breakfast.
24 minutes to 8. This time tomorrow, we're going to be broadcasting live from inside the terminal at the Adelaide Airport for the 8th consecutive Variety SA 5AA radiothon. Last year we raised $158,555, or rather, I should say, you raised $158,555. The wonderful and generous people at Cochrane's Transport are on board again this year. Dollar matching. Every dollar you donate, they'll match. And that will get that kitty ticking over right throughout the day. So we're going to be at the airport from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m, including Jade, Robran, Rowie and Timmy G are going to be down there. It's going to be a massive day supporting a charity that we love partnering with in Variety SA. That's tomorrow morning from 6. If you're travelling for any reason or at the airport, we'd love to see you down there. We're at the new end, in the sort of near the Penfolds Bar section, which I haven't seen yet.
Flash bit. It's good. A lot of good food options down there as well. Beautiful cafes, and you get nice salads, toasted sandwiches, and a glass of Penfolds if you're that way inclined.
At 6 a.m.
Yeah, well, I don't think we'll be having any.
You don't think? Maybe you're leaving some wiggle room.
Perhaps.
5 to 10, out of 10, every time.
Brad Abraham in the 5AA Breakfast Studio. Thanks to your local Mitre 10. Friendly service, expert advice, quality brands at great prices. That's mighty helpful, Mitre 10. Matt, you managed to stave off the lure of the sea this morning and make it into the studio?
I did. I was under pressure from Pirate Pete, who's getting the bar crush. Actually, he should be out. He should be out there right now.
Looking at the forecast, though,
I know.
it's going to be like glass out there, isn't it?
It is like glass out there. Because not only do we look at the forecast, we tragic fishers, but we look at the Outer Harbour webcam. And
I've never looked at that.
Oh, yeah. There's a whole lot of webcams. Most of them are focused on like car parks. You know, they're for the beach. But the Outer Harbour one.
Do you use Woolly Weather?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, I use that down at Aldinga to work out, when to park the old beach bus down there without it getting,
oh my goodness,
sinking and drifting off towards Edithburgh.
There's Outer Harbour.
Yeah.
Look at that. Wow.
Gee. Maybe we could all just go out in the boat.
Yet here you are in the studio talking about politics with us, Matt.
Well, yeah, I realised it was time I should leave the ABC, my permanent job at the ABC, when I was spending more time looking at the Outer Harbour webcam on air than concentrating.
Than watching Question Time or anything like that.
Exactly. It kills watching Question Time. Now, look, I think we ought to talk about the floods and the government's response to that. But before we do, being letterboxed in Joslin, which is in the seat of Dunstan, held very, very, very marginally now by Stephen Marshall, former Premier, leader of a one-term Liberal government. They've started letterboxing the Liberals. It's odd this time of the year, coming up to Christmas. Less than a year into a 4-year term. So Peter Malinauskas and Labor promised they would fix the ramping crisis, says a leaflet. And then they have a little graph showing the ramping under the Liberals going down and under Labor going up in the first 8 months or so. and my contacts. Oh, you probably can see who that is there. But anyway, good morning, Michael Atkinson.
You're a Volt, man. He's probably tweeting about it too, knowing Atco.
Anyway, he thinks the Dunstan by-election can't be far away if they're letterboxing in Joslin.
I would put my house on the Dunstan by-election being held next year. This is obviously the seat held by former Premier Stephen Marshall. There was some speculation a couple of weeks ago, which the Premier said that I was wrong, but when he went to the Melbourne Cup,
Former Premier.
The former Premier.
Yes,
I don't call him the Premier, sorry.
No, that's right.
Yeah, the former
it's an easy mistake to make. He was there, he was there a whole 4 years.
He was seen knocking around with some Treasury wine estate types, and there was talk from people who were there that he'd been offered some sort of job, or that they were talking to him about some sort of job, and he said nothing in it. And but in pursuing the story, I got the very strong view that there's a sense within the Liberal Party that it would be in everybody's best interests if he disappeared.
It would be in everybody's best interest. I can hear that being said.
Well, they're not going to tell him to go.
No.
He's not going to go in the second half of the term.
No.
I mean, imagine if Labor won that seat, or a Teal won the seat, and it would become a momentum-creating bad story for the Libs.
What is it? 6.9% swing at the election to Labor. It's 50.5 to 49.5 right now.
0.5%.
The Greens, on first preference, got just under 14% of the vote.
It's a lot, isn't it?
It's massive.
Yeah.
Oh, you could tell me 3 different outcomes in that seat right now, and I'd believe any of them.
I would. Well, you'd have to think Labor would be odds on to take that seat if it was like a ferocious by-election campaign, and they would throw a lot at it.
You know, one thing that might change it. You know, it starts tomorrow. 2 weeks of road closures.
Yeah,
Fullerton Road, Britannia Roundabout.
Well, you should have announced it.
That's right.
4 weeks ago, then.
Exactly.
That might swing a few voters into the Liberal camp.
It may. Who knows? Just listening to you speak to the AMA president, and I have been watching the government's response to the flood crisis, and I'm looking at it thinking it's pretty good. They, I know this will shock people. Peter Malinauskas has just fainted, but no, it is pretty good. They, I think they thought about it really well before they went up the Riverland. They took their Peter Malinauskas took his full cabinet up the Riverland. Something he did, by the way, in opposition. And I've written my in-daily column about it for tomorrow, but I do point out that it was totally inexplicable that one of the first things Stephen Marshall did when he became Premier was to get rid of country cabinets. It was like, I just couldn't get over that for the Liberal Party. But Peter Malinauskas took his whole cabinet up there. Now, they probably didn't all need to go, but I think it's quite it was a good flying the flag exercise. And he then announced this package. It was nearly $52 million. The interesting thing for me about the package isn't just, I thought, they'll go up there and they'll announce a package for building levees and, the sandbags and all that. And it does that. Okay, so to build and maintain levees, it's like hundreds of thousands of sandbags coming in from India for some bizarre reason. But the interesting thing for me about the package is that it's not just the here and now, but it offers, I suppose, hope and certainly cash for when the floods recede and when the river drops back to more normal levels. So for mental health support, for instance, and tourism, there's a tourism ad spend and there's going to be vouchers and so on. I reckon that's a good thing because it sort of shows a government that is thinking ahead, and also for the people in the Riverland, I think they probably think, there's a plan in place for what happens after this.
Without wanting to be the resident cynic, though, you don't get too often natural disaster that unfolds as slowly as the one we're getting here. Like if you can't get it right when you've got months of advanced warning.
This is true.
It's not like a bushfire that happened. You've got to respond in real time.
Yeah, it is a slowly building one.
But even so, though, like
it's a good package. But the degree of difficulty is lower.
I think that the thing is, like, some people might look at it and go, it was a bit of a symbolic gesture taking cabinet up to the Riverland. It's like, well, okay, even if part of that is true, the living and overwhelmingly rejected political embodiment of what happens if you don't make a symbolic gesture is Scott Morrison.
You've got to get the optics right.
I mean, if you're knocking around in your Hawaiian shirt when half of Victoria's ablaze...
Geez, we've set the bar low, haven't we? If there's a natural disaster, we celebrate politicians that don't go on holidays. Jeez.
Well, but I mean, slow-moving things like the river. I mean, watching the penny drop for ScoMo was slow, very slow-moving.
Yeah.
Like, what are you thinking?
I know. You do look, and you do see leaders doing this because, you know, the mindset might be, well, I don't, you know, like, well, as he said, and that this was a killer line used against him repeatedly, I don't hold a hose, mate. And that's, you know, that's true. I mean, for instance, I remember Mike Rand, when he was Premier and the local member for Ramsey, was a member of the local CFS. And, you know, I used to joke that if there was a fire, they'd say to Mike, now get that hose and now keep going, we can still see you. But he, you know, he was in his local CFS. You know, well, this is if you're a local MP and you're in a, you know, fire risk prone, even though it's, you know, on the urban a rural fringe.
I mean, he wouldn't have been much help in the event of a bushfire, given that he lived in Norwood, though.
No. Not the entire time. No. Not the entire. That's true. That's true. He would have got Barry to drive him out there in a big white car.
On a clear day, you could almost see his seat from the parade. He's no Robinson Crusoe there, though.
No, he's not. But yeah, you do see it now. So we have this sort of emergency response. You're quite right. It's a slow-moving emergency, but there's something really sort of, I reckon, sort of spooky about water. Just these massive volumes and how slowly it comes up, and the fact that you can't like a bushfire. You can sort of water bomb and, you know, evacuate people and all that sort of stuff.
You can't stop this.
You can't stop it, and so we've got this pretty extraordinary situation where they're going to rip up the asphalt in the main road of Manham and put in a levee bank. They're having to make tough decisions about people who are on one side of the wall or people who are on the other side of the wall. And, you know, you read in the Tiser this morning that they're switching off, you know, sewage to hundreds of homes, SA Water, because, you know, as a precautionary measure to keep it going for as many people as possible, so you don't have, you know, total mess in the river. So yeah, I think it's been a pretty good response so far.
Yeah, there'll be a new. They put out this Bible of information about flow, the water coming down the Murray, the SA River Murray flow report once a week. There'll be more information that comes out today, but it is, you're right. There's something scary about the irresistible nature of it when you look at the estimated peak times and you go, okay, well in Waikerie, it could come on Christmas Day, or Christmas Eve. In Morgan, it could come their Boxing Day might look like the peak flood day, or Murray Bridge, it might be New Year's Eve. You can see this bad thing is coming over the course of this next month.
Yeah, and it hasn't stopped raining in the in the start of the Murray in the catchment areas up there in New South Wales and Victoria. So yeah, it's. There may be more. I mean, they're putting the most likely scenario, I think, of 175 gigalitres. I don't know how many Olympic-sized swimming pools that is, but possibly, and this is in the second wave, which has really sparked the latest state of emergency, with Grant Stevens back running the state. It's December, January, and that's, I think, what really got them worried, possibly going to 220 gigalitres. So a lot of water there.
Absolutely.
Out of 10 every time.
Now, I know we're all fans of the World Cup. Well, you guys are anyway. And I am too. Watch it. But, and I know you played the audio of the rather bizarre speech by FIFA President Gianni Infantino. But it was too good not to include in the mighty 10 out of 10. But I just want to explain what we're doing here. This is the speech. I want you to imagine that you're Gianni Infantino's speechwriter. And in this case, it's Michael Spicer, who's a comedian, a British comedian, and he does this thing called The Room Next Door, where he's actually listening to the speech and then, you know, trying to coach the guy. Let's just have a listen to The Room Next Door, the speechwriter, as Gianni Infantino does his thing.
Feel Qatari. Okay, that's baffling, but nice, I suppose. Today I feel Arab. Right. Could you sort of speed towards the point? Today I feel gay. As in happy, yes? Today I feel disabled. Do you feel like a Burke yet? Because honestly, today I feel... I'm sorry, how many more people do you feel like? Only we're running out of time here, and despite the fact that you do feel like all of these groups, you still seem to be acting very much like a tone-deaf millionaire president of a corrupt football organisation.
Still a migrant worker.
Why? Are you only on 45p an hour too?
I'm not really a migrant worker.
You're not really making any sense either. All you're doing is being weird and insensitive to all the people that Qatar discriminates against. They need a voice of reassurance right now, not some potty cartoon earthworm having an identity crisis.
But I feel like them because I know what it means to be discriminated.
Oh, poor you. Have your servants been talking about you behind your back again? Has your butler laid out the wrong socks just once too often?
At school, I was bullied because I had red hair.
Not quite the same as slavery, but okay.
Oh, that is so good.
Exceptional.
When he got to the red hair. I do feel for all the Fanta pants out there. But anyway, including Gianni, who I'm giving a big 8 out of 10.
Yes, excellent. Good on you, man. Your local Mitre 10, friendly service, expert advice, quality brands at great prices. That's mighty helpful, Mitre 10. Traffic thanks to Ritchie Brothers, end of year unreserved auction, November 30 to December 1. Bid online at rbauction.com.au.
Thanks, Will. At Paraka, got a smash on Main North Road near Pratt Avenue. Jeps Cross, crash and car fire, Port Wakefield Road near Whites Road. Marden, there's a breakdown, Port Roach Road near Paynham Road, and we're busy right now, South Road at Tonsley. Keep an eye for cameras today, Sturton Road, Edinburgh, and Tolmer Road at Elizabeth Park. Shop local at Adelaide Central Markets with over 70 traders under one roof for best fresh produce, specialty goods and more. Open Tuesday till Saturday. Your local Adelaide Central Market. Adelaide's most accurate traffic. Go on 5AA.
Everyday low prices, any time of year. Trust the mighty South Aussies. Great food.
You're watching the 5AA live stream, thanks to Foodland.
For everything that you've done, and it's been a pleasure to be a very small part of it. Thank you so much.
SSA as Leon Biner, SSA as AA.
Hello, I'm Lynn Andrews. For over 50 years, we have specialised in commercial and residential property management. But above all, we specialise in people, helping to make life easy for property investors and the tenants of their properties. Everyone is treated with integrity and respect. That's the Lynn Andrews way. For commercial and residential property management, we are here to help. Visit lynnandrews.com.au.
Hi, it's Eddie May from NRG Solar. Did you know solar is still the cheapest form of power in South Australia? So if you're not going solar, you're paying too much for your electricity. Jump on board now before the government rebates fall again at the end of December. Act now and you can save thousands of dollars on a typical system tailor-made for you. If you wait until next year, those savings simply won't be there. Get in touch today. Visit nrgsolar.com.au because solar is all we do.
When's the last time a meal made you say, shuck yeah?
It was last Wednesday, Will, and in fact it's been every time that I've been to Fishbank. Absolutely superb restaurant, really making waves. It's a dive in a luxury without feeling like a fish out of water, with impeccable but relaxed service. And the wait staff is just such a blissfully relaxing place. You can just sit there. They know when to come and give you a top-up or ask you what you'd like to order for your entrees.
They do some really cool stuff with the menu as well. It flows with the season, so there's always something new to try. And the taste doesn't stop at seafood. The chefs will happily cater to any dietary needs.
That's right. And the resident sommelier has curated an impeccable wine list from tried and tested favourites to drops that you're hard-pressed to find elsewhere.
The Fishbank is the perfect place to celebrate your team's success this year, or maybe reward a work colleague, but you need to book in ASAP. The Fishbank, number 2, King William Street, Adelaide.
G'day, it's Baz from FIVEAA Milk Company. Just wanted to make sure you knew that our milk only comes from SA dairy farmers. So make sure the milk you buy is only from SA dairy farms. Because you see, no matter how tough it gets out there, our dairy farmers always put you first. So let's support them. Look for FIVEAA Milk Company products in your supermarket. 3 words make all the difference. FIVEAA Milk Company. South Australian first and proud of it.
Gazza, time to down tools.
Mate, TGIF.
Yeah, nah, TGIBF.
Oh, what, like best friends?
Black Friday at Toolkit Depot.
Oh, Righto, yeah, we can do that too.
Get epic Black Friday deals, like 20% off selected hand tools and power tool accessories and up to 50% off workwear. More deals in-store and online. Stock is limited, so get in quick. Toolkit Depot, your Trade Pro partner.
5AA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head online to 5AA Facebook or search 5AA on YouTube. David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
Five to 8, John Blake coming up in just a moment, but it's a Thursday morning, which means we've got a magnificent Smeg appliance to give away. You gonna make a zing? You gonna make a ding? Can you make it go? Can you make it make a sound?
Well, I can't because it's still got the.
Someone's put a tie on there to prevent you from having fun. Oh, there you go.
I think like a lot of beautifully designed, well-made toasters, they won't actually go up and down and stay in position unless it's plugged into the wall.
Anyway,
time for a toast.
Toast for a toaster. Great people at Smeg. You can get Debney Distributors. That's where the Smeg showroom is. Taste the difference with Smeg. Toast someone and you're in the running to win the toaster. It's as simple as that. 8223 or text on 0448 08 1395. Toast someone for the toaster this morning.
We mean toast in a positive sense.
Absolutely.
Yeah, like this is raise your glass to someone.
Yeah, someone, something that is just excellent.
Yeah.
And there's no judgment beyond that. And
Exactly.
one of those toasts will win the toaster before 9 o'clock today. It's time for Wallace Fogg, thanks to Aussie Fast Transport Solutions, interstate freight distribution, warehousing and local Adelaide couriers. Call Aussie Fast on 13 13 64.
Now, the latest news with Wallace Fogg. Good morning, early risers. This is Wallace Fogg with another 5AA news update. The state government has released the new standards for all elected council members and introduced an independent panel to deal with complaints about their behaviour. The panel aims to stamp out in-house fighting and squabbles between elected members and staff without the need to use ratepayers' money. The rules say that councillors must maintain respectful relationships and not bully other members, and to start acting in a way that generates confidence in the council and doesn't mislead anybody. In other words, they have to, for the first time in 30 years, start behaving like a city council. In the World Cup, the Australian Socceroos have gone down to France 4-1. When I say gone down, what I really mean is France dug a big hole, pushed the Socceroos into it and then covered it over with soft earth. The Australians tried everything, even putting an extra man on the pitch, but unfortunately the officials noticed him and told him to get off. Australian fans are understandably quite upset at the result, but more so embarrassed that they never seem to learn that Australia will never win the World Cup, so what's the point of setting your alarm for 3 o'clock in the morning? And finally, Tourism Australia has revealed how much Aussie actress Rose Byrne was paid to voice the animated character Ruby the Roo in the latest 60-second TV commercial designed to attract overseas visitors down under.
G'day.
Where am I?
Australia. And you look like you need a holiday.
Show us what you got.
Let's go. Tourism Australia's Managing Director Philippa Harrison told a Senate inquiry that it was worth every cent of the $1.2 million of taxpayers' money paid to Rose Byrne for the character. Some people are now saying that the idea of paying someone good money just to do stupid voices is ridiculous and the world's gone crazy. And that's the news for this Thursday. I'm Wallace Fogg. More 5AA news coming up at 8 o'clock or as close as we can get.
Minute to 8, we got an early toast for the toaster from Mary at Flagstaff Hill. You want to toast your husband, Mary?
Yes, I do. My wonderful husband is very nervous about playing Father Christmas at Treasure Boxes on Sunday. And I just want to let him know he'll do a fabulous job.
Oh, that's a lovely toast, Mary. You are firmly in the running to win the Smeg toaster thanks to Debney Distributors. Good luck to the brand new Father Christmas this weekend. 5AA News is coming up. More from John Blake after 8:30. Breaking at 8 next.
Introducing the Kia Cars of the Year. The Kia Cars of the Year. The fully electric Kia EV6. The Wheels Car of the Year. And the Drive Car of the Year. The Kia Sportage. To pick your side in this sibling rivalry, visit kia.com.au.
Kia. Movement that inspires.
Wella, wella, wella. Everybody's gonna buy Hoyt's spices. Everyone's gonna save $1 or $2. Everybody's gonna buy Hoyt's spices, yeah.
Look for Hoyt's most popular household herbs and spices at your supermarket. Whole black pepper, 4-colour peppercorn mix, oregano, mixed herbs, vanilla sugar, sesame seeds, poppy seeds. Refill your empty spice jars with value to spice up your kitchen. You'll be happy with Hoyt's at Coles, Woolworths and all good independent supermarkets.
Hoyt's spices, yeah.
For more than 10 years, Brenton Radless and Kate Collins have brought you all the big stories on 9 News.
Online, on DAB Digital Radio and on 1395 AM. Talking Adelaide. This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Mostly sunny, 24 today with the 8 o'clock news. I'm Mel Usher.
Hydrotherapy at Physio Extra Marion has individual sessions and classes claimable on private health and NDIS.
Police are hunting 2 men after another break-in at a Modbury house. They were called to the home on Burton Street around 4:30 after an alarm activated. No one was home and nothing appears to have been stolen. Senior Constable Kate Dawson says the same house was robbed earlier this week and the female occupant hit in the face with a door.
So we're just appealing for anybody who may have seen anything in the Modbury area last night, or 2 men leaving the scene or acting suspiciously, to contact Crime Stoppers on 1-800 333 000. Yeah, really concerning that this home was targeted again.
A car was set alight at Albert Park early this morning. The black Mitsubishi sedan was torched in Glyde Street about 3:30. Crime scene investigators will examine this morning. The state government has released the list of 110 free courses to be delivered by TAFE SA in 2023. Areas of study include IT, cooking, agriculture, health and construction. It's part of the National Skills Agreement to help with widespread shortages. There are 10,500 places available for South Australians. 6 men have been charged as part of a multinational crackdown on drug importation. Jessica Clancy reports from Sydney.
Following an 18-month investigation spanning 3 countries, 6 men have been charged in a major police operation in Sydney. Police say during the operation, 220 kilograms of methamphetamines bound for Sydney was seized in the United States, and 60 kilograms of cocaine sourced in Germany was found hidden in machinery parts. Search warrants have now been issued across 14 Sydney suburbs, with police seizing a total of $2.5 million in cash, as well as a gold bullion, a rifle and drugs. 6 men have been charged with a variety of offences.
The new Adelaide City Council will be officially sworn in this morning. The ceremony will be held at the Town Hall. It's the second time in the job for the new Lord Mayor Jane Lomax-Smith. She originally served between 1997 and 2000. There's been a staff shooting at a Walmart in the US. Alison Petrowski has more.
The shooter has been identified as 31-year-old Andre Bing, the overnight team leader at the Walmart store in Chesapeake, Virginia. Local police believe Bing opened fire in the break room, killing 6 people before turning the gun on himself.
And the suspect is dead from what we believe was a self-inflicted gunshot wound.
4 others were wounded and are being treated in hospital. The shooting comes 3 days after a man killed 5 people at an LGBTQ nightclub in Colorado Springs. The United States has had more than 600 mass shootings this year.
Researchers in Queensland have mapped the genome of an avocado for the first time, paving the way for growers to improve on-farm productivity. They've determined which genes are responsible for specific characteristics of the Hass variety. Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Gliderroll Garage Doors' new Platinum and Native Series sectional doors are here. Gliderroll.com.au.
And with everything World Cup, here's Tom Wren.
Thank you, Mel. Yes, let's begin there. Socceroos winger Craig Goodwin admits he went against his coach's advice when he scored during yesterday's 4-1 loss to France at the FIFA World Cup. Goodwin has told Today he was directed to keep his shots low and hard.
He joked with me and said, I don't know what you did with our advice, but you put it in the roof of the net and that worked. So obviously, yeah, a really nice moment. Just tried to put something on it and try and keep the ball within target, and it was such a good feeling when it hit the back of the net.
Yeah, it was a great finish. In this morning's other results, Spain smashed Costa Rica 7-0, Japan beat Germany 2-1 and Morocco drew 0-0 with Croatia. Belgium then took the 3 points in the late game with a 1-0 win against Canada. Well, AFL CEO Gillon McLachlan has announced he'll be stepping aside after the Festival of Footy, which is set to be played here in Adelaide in round 5 next year. Meantime, Richmond's Monique Conti has been voted the best women's footballer in the AFLW by her peers. The 22-year-old midfielder is the youngest winner of the Players' MVP award. Let's go to golf, and Aussie Cameron Smith is off to a slow start in his opening round at the PGA Championship at Royal Queensland. He's currently 1 over through 5 holes, putting him 4 shots behind Danish leader Rasmus Højgaard. His twin brother Nicholas is a couple of shots further back at 1 under, while Adam Scott is also 1 under. To cricket, and the Adelaide Strikers will play against the Brisbane Heat tonight for a spot in the WBBL Grand Final. The match will be played at Karen Rolton Oval from 6:40pm. The Adelaide 36ers will be in action tonight in a tough road clash against the Perth Wildcats. Meantime, Aussie Ben Simmons' Brooklyn Nets have lost 115 to 106 against his old side, the Philadelphia 76ers. And Joel Taylor has defeated Ty Telford with a 6th round stoppage to claim the vacant Australian welterweight boxing title. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Now checking 5AA traffic.
Samri. They don't grade cheese, they do great things. Get into it at samri.org.au.
At Baraka, smash on Main North Road near Pratt Avenue. Jeps Cross, crash and car fire, Port Wakefield Road near Whites Road. Martin got a truck breakdown on Port Rice Road near Paynham Road. And Darlington reports of a Willibin on the Southern Expressway. Tim, and in the emergency lane, but sounds like rubbish to me. Cameras to look out from the drive-in, Addison Road, Pennington, and Martins Road at Greenfields. The biggest Black Friday of them all starts tomorrow in Rundle Mall, with stores open till midnight for your Christmas shopping. Then it's Black Friday all weekend in Rundle Mall. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA forecast.
See any issue firsthand with AutoCam. Real-time video, direct to you from your Automaster's technician.
Mostly sunny 24 today, up to 31 tomorrow, and sunny Saturday, a shower or two, 27, back to 20 on Sunday. Right now it's 14 degrees. More news as it happens on 5AA.
City Discount Tires. Get saving this month at City Discount Tires. When you buy 3 Wild Peak AT3W all-terrain tyres, you'll get the 4th tyre free. The perfect tyre for your next adventure. City Discount Tires are a proud multi-tyre and wheel brand retailer offering great service at great prices. Visit citydiscounttires.com.au to find your nearest store. City Discount Tires. We're driven by value.
City Discount Tires. Now, when you want the freshest and best seafood for a tasty, healthy seafood meal, do what I do. Go straight to the people who for 3 generations have served South Aussies with quality seafood every day. Samtas Seafoods, factory direct and open 7 days.
Where else can you get 4 kilos of premium seafood for just $60? Snap frozen kilo packs of your favourites at Samtas. Choose from Atlantic salmon portions, flathead fillets, snapper and barramundi fillets, crumb garfish and prawns, salt and pepper squid and more.
Plus, there's always an incredible range of premium, fresh South Australian seafood being processed daily at factory direct prices. Freshly cooked on the premises crayfish, caught at the bottom tip of Yorks, Pondalawi Bay fresh, $77.80 a kilo. Then there's Spencer Gulf King prawns, cooked and snap frozen at sea, many sizes to choose. Mediums $21.99 a kilo, large $27.99 a kilo. But if barbecuing or a garlic prawn is more your style, you can get the Ocean Court South Aussie raw prawns, just $23.99 a kilo.
Hearing you shout out prices took me back to the fruit store at the Central Market.
Who has $1?
I heard it.
$1 a corner.
I heard it in your voice.
$1 a bag or 3 for 2 on the corner here.
Be quick and get to Samtas Seafood. Sale on now. Open 7 days. Factory direct. Richmond Road at Richmond.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings. 5AA Breakfast.
8 after 8. Going to be talking Adelaide 500 after 8:30 today. Mark Warren from Motorsport SA is going to be on the program. It's a week today that the Adelaide 500 begins in earnest. The road closures begin tomorrow. Wakefield Road's closed from tomorrow through till December 8. The Decatable Terrace is closed from Saturday. That's the 26th to December 6. Bartels Road closes on Saturday as well. Hutt Street, Bartels, Peary to Wakefield is closed on Saturday, and Fullerton Road closed with speed restrictions near the Britannia roundabout from Saturday. So starting tomorrow, then through the weekend, we get the majority of those road closures in place.
The predictions are that it will add 20 minutes to your morning trip if you live in the eastern suburbs and you're heading west. The RAA said yesterday that they're recommending that people, where they can, either use public transport or even walk to work. I mean, if you live in, Kent Town or Norwood, it's hardly a arduous trek into the city,
Mm.
as long as the weather holds. If it's like today, it'd be a lovely stroll.
Perfect. Just beautiful. So, Adelaide 500, and then the CEO of TAFE coming up in about 10 minutes' time. We'll talk about this initiative launched today. Thousands of free places to fill skill shortages well into the future. 110 different courses. We'll talk with the TAFE CEO about those in just a moment.
Well, being the old dogged news hound that he is, Matt Abraham just before half stole today's breaking at 8, which is that the SA Liberal Party has decided to go all out on the issue of ramping. As Matt revealed, he was also alerted to this yesterday, obviously. The Libs have started what I understand is a citywide letterboxing campaign. Matt said that a resident in Joslin, in Stephen Marshall's old seat, had got a copy of the leaflet. We've had texts this morning, though, from listeners everywhere saying it's not just in the seat of Dunstan, it's in Morphett too. It's also in Harndorf, with healthcare, ambulance times being a big issue in the hills. And Mike said he got the leaflet in Greenwith as well. We got one in our letterbox at Wavell yesterday. I don't know how much the Libs are spending on this. I'd hazard a guess that it will probably be, at least probably 20 grand. Maybe 30 grand, and to do it so early in the cycle, and with the backdrop being that there were some in the Liberal Party who thought that it was a bit crazy that Ashton Hearn, the Shadow Health spokeswoman, with the endorsement of the Liberal leader David Spears, that they decided to go out there early on, almost leading with their chins, talking about ramping, given that it had been such a millstone around Stephen Marshall's neck, one of the key things that cost him victory after just one term. But quite clearly, the Libs have decided that they're going to try to nail Labor to the wall on its promise. And I actually think, in a policy sense, it's the one thing that this new government with a huge majority coasting along, if there was an approval rating poll done at the moment, I think that Labor would be well ahead, and Peter Malinowskis' personal approval would be very high, because it's early days yet, still the honeymoon period and all of that, and he hasn't really stuffed anything up yet. But having said that, whenever you ask Labor questions about ramping, bearing in mind that they've just had 4 months of the worst figures ever recorded in South Australia, you can sense the discomfort in their responses. And it's along the lines of, well, we didn't say we'd fix it overnight.
Yeah.
And even trying to sort of parse some of what they said and going back, no, we didn't say we'd stop it. We said we'd get it down. We said we'd start getting it down. Well, A, they haven't got it down. It's gone up. And B, lest they need to be reminded, the placards all over town at the March 19 election said this: Labor will fix ramping. Not much wiggle room there.
I'm amazed it's November and it's already that line from the Libs has got cut through. I figured there'd be 24 months of grace that the Labor government would have before they were going to be start to held to account on that. You're right. Ashton Hearn's been proven absolutely correct. There's another element to this breaking at 8 that I think is really interesting. A lot was written around the time of the election about the fallout between the Libs and the business community in South Australia, and the fact that they'd lost traction amongst their traditional power base. And the byproduct of that is getting money in, being able to buy advertising, being able to do leaflet drops and whatnot. If they've got the money to do this at this point of the cycle, maybe it's a case of their, rumours of the death of the Liberal Party had been greatly exaggerated. This suggests to me there's a bit more health there in some of those relationships, or some bridges have been mended behind the scenes in a way that doesn't get headlines and we don't talk about, but in an important way going forward. And maybe that's a lot of the work David Spears has been doing behind the scenes, because they don't, tens of thousands of dollars to throw around in the first year of a new government after you've been smashed an election is a pretty rare thing. 14 minutes after 8, our number, 8223 0000, or you can text us, 0448 08 1395.
I like this one from Con on the text line. I toast the Japanese fans who cleaned up the stadium after their country beat former World Cup winners Germany. Now,
they always do it, the Japanese.
It's an amazing thing, isn't it? Like, they're just such incredibly polite, well-behaved people.
Their team will often clean up their own locker room, the players. These guys are all multi-millionaires and superstars.
It's amazing, isn't it?
It is.
You imagine Cristiano.
They set a great standard.
Do you reckon Cristiano Ronaldo would get out there picking up after himself? He'd get somebody in for that, wouldn't he?
We are toasting people.
Time for a toast.
With Smeg.
You can toast someone and in the process win the toaster thanks to Debney Distributors. That's where you'll find the Smeg showroom. Taste the difference with Smeg. Tina in Mitchell Park, good morning.
Good morning. Look, I know it sounds a bit trendy because the person before me did the same, but excuse me, I want to toast my husband, who I know is listening. So I want to toast him for his amazing ability to be able to sit on the sofa after night shift and fall asleep with a red wine glass in his hand and never spill a drop.
That's a special skill. That's a special level of coordination, Tina. It's well worth toasting. Thank you. You're in the running to win the Smeg toaster. Scott and Glenunda, good morning. Who would you like to toast?
Good morning, guys. I would like to do a double toast. I'd love to toast Jane Dore because I feel like I've grown up with Jane. And, you know, and also all those years she read the news with your father, Will.
Yep.
Like, I just think she's an Adelaide icon in the same way that, you know, frog cakes are and Farmers Union iced coffee. And I think Leon Biner is the same. He's an Adelaide icon, so I think a toast goes out to him as well.
Good on you, Scott. Thank you. A couple of very worthy toasts.
Two of the biggest names in South Australian media.
Let's go to Craig Moore. Andrew, good morning.
G'day, guys. Look, something has to be said about the heroes of last week. All those SES electricians and everybody else that got this state through a very hard time. They deserve the actual biggest toast of all.
Yeah.
After not one, but 2 weekends in a row. Just extraordinary weather.
Given the scale of what happened, I know there are people in Hawthorne Dean and other suburbs that had to wait a bit longer, but given the scale of what took place, the speed with which some of that stuff was fixed up was pretty extraordinary. It's not a toast, but a very happy birthday today to this man.
I've got a house in Scotland. It looks like a castle. It's called a baronial house. You know, turrets, flags, nothing pretentious, you understand. Masked pipe band, slaves, serfs. Hey, Mr. Connolly, hey, the new, hey. Can we have a turnip of a raise, Mr. Connolly? So, but when I get guests, it's usually Americans, they want to sleep in the turret rooms, you know, the round, the sort of where you hang out the window. And it's delightful. In the morning I always say, how did you sleep, by the way? Oh, sound as a pound, Bill. Like a stone at the bottom of the sea. And I always say, oh, I'm glad to hear that. Because sometimes people say they're uncomfortable in there, feel some kind of bloody presence. I don't know what they're on about. That night they don't sleep a wink.
And Billy Connolly, happy birthday today. How old is Billy Connolly?
I'm going to say he's 81.
Not bad. He's 80 today. Happy
I'm
80.
always one off.
Yeah, that's your special skill. Like Tina's husband balancing the glass of wine. 80 years old, Billy Connolly today. Big happy birthday to you. Let's check the fuel situation. Find the cheapest fuel in an instant. Download the free MyRA app from your app store today. Fuel's heading up to the $2.10 mark, which, as I explained in great detail earlier, it's spun off into its own orbit because there's no relationship now between that rapid increase in what the barrel price is globally. The BP on the run Port Road, though, is cheap. The one at Alberton, $1.69.5. The ex-convenience Brighton Road North Brighton, $1.65.7. The Coles Express OG Road Clemzig, $1.67.9. The cheapest diesel, the United May North Road Paraka, $2.14.5.
Sorry, playing with the toaster.
Did it get any love out of it?
I haven't plugged it in, but that's very satisfying.
Very
They're so well made, Smeg products. Beautiful colour.
We've given that one away before 9 o'clock this morning. Still plenty of time if you want to shout someone out with a toast on 8223 0000. We check traffic now. Ritchie Brothers end of year unreserved auction, November 30 to December 1. Bid online at rbauction.com.au.
At Marden, we've got a truck breakdown on Port Rice Road near Paynham Road. Darlington reports of a wheelie bin on the Southern Expressway. It's inbound in the emergency lane. Got a lane closed at Happy Valley for works today. Happy Valley Drive near Manning Road. And we're busy South Road at Tonsley as you're heading off the Southern Expressway. Cameras today, Henley Beach Road, Lockleys and Libertad Avenue at Croydon Park. Anaconda's massive Black Friday sale is on now with up to 50% off a huge range of outdoor gear. Some exclusions apply. Shop in-store or online now. Play more, pay less. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The next generation of mighty South Aussies have spoken.
Equal rights for everyone.
Oceans without junk in them.
No nasty chemicals in things.
Search Sustainable 7 to hear more about what the future's got in store for Foodland.
Marsh watching, because I've seen him do that so many times.
Victory game, and I all of a sudden realised it was against some of the best players in the world. I honestly couldn't stand that.
4 p.m. weekdays on 5AA.
Hello, I'm Lynn Andrews. At Lynn Andrews Real Estate, we've seen a lot of change in the property market over the last 50 years, but one thing remains constant: our passion to help people invest in the future, to build strong property portfolios in commercial and residential real estate. Our commitment to property investment over the years means we have a wealth of knowledge to share with you. We are here to help. Visit lynnandrews.com.au.
Need a forklift? Don't just get a forklift, get a Toyota forklift. Toyota is the world's #1 forklift brand, with a great range of pallet jacks, walkie stackers and reach forklifts, right up to their leading Toyota counterbalance forklifts. Legendary reliability and safety with cleaner, greener electric options, Toyota can tailor the right forklift solution for you. It's all part of the Toyota Forklift Advantage. For more, visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au. Get a Toyota forklift.
Harvey Norman, Big Friday. Stores open 8 a.m. tomorrow. Up to 30% off Windows 11 computers. Hisense 98-inch TV for under $5,000. Purchase a selected Australian-made queen-size mattress and for $1 more, upgrade to a king size. Everdure Furnace 3-burner barbecue with bonus cover and warming rack for $993. Terms, conditions and exclusions apply. Trading hours may vary. Big Friday. Stores open 8 a.m. tomorrow at Harvey Norman.
I'm Kathy Nagel, Chief Executive of Western Hospital Henley Beach. Chronic diseases may cause heart and vascular conditions that, left untreated, can cost you your life. Western Hospital offers a wide range of cardiology and vascular interventions which may prevent disease and could help prolong your life. Interventions range from cardiovascular health checks to diagnostic interventions like angiogram and stenting. For more information, visit westernhospital.com.au or phone 8159 1200 to arrange a referral.
For more than 10 years, Brenton Raglas and Kate Collins have brought you all the big stories on 9 News.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
22 after 8. Lovely speaking with listeners earlier this morning about the origins of their professional careers, where they got trained, how they got into their job. We do so, of course, on the back of some detail around the interim National Skills Agreement that came out this morning. 110 free courses to be delivered by TAFE SA in areas of high workforce demand in South Australia. It makes 10,500 of these places available, and it reads like a shopping list of the sorts of jobs that we are in dire need of at the moment. And I think historically we've planned to facilitate by bringing in people from overseas. Allied health, mental health, nursing, building and construction, bricklaying. You ever try to get any of that stuff done recently? Construction, electrical engineering, cooking, baking, early childhood education, hospitality, all these sorts of areas. You're being able to go for free at TAFE to skill yourself up and get a job. David Coltman is the CEO of TAFE SA. David, good morning to you.
Good morning, guys. How are you?
We're good, David. We were saying before, I think they call it credentialism in the education space. There's a big sort of weird and flawed consensus for a long time in this country that if you hadn't gone to uni, you were sort of camping out and you'd missed out. It's a total myth. And the jobs that Will was just rattling off there, these are the very practical sort of things that keep us going as a community, aren't they?
They surely are. And I mean, they provide great career opportunities for people, great earning potential, great mobility if people do want to go away from South Australia and then, of course, come back. But, there's just, once you've got a good trade or a vocational qualification, you really are quite set up for life.
The other thing, too, a lot of those jobs are internet-proof, aren't they? Like, you think about how many jobs are now being made redundant by the rise of technology. Like, you can't create an app that's going to lay bricks in your backyard or prepare your dinner or cut your hair, can you?
Well, we haven't found one yet, and I don't think there will be in the near future, because we actually all like a bit of human interaction, and that's, in the same way that we both, we seek out those services and those human interactions in our lives, but also, they're really important parts of a community, and so having those services available is just essential for our community well-being.
David, those 10,500 places that are available, do you expect them to go to like a Bruce Springsteen concert where, everyone's got to get online by, a certain time, otherwise they're going to go? Or will people have a bit of time to think about it, given the levels of demand?
Yeah, look, we had 840 users on the website before 7:30 this morning, and normally we'd see traffic around about 100 at this time of year. So people are interested. I think a lot of people have been holding off and waiting to hear what the courses are, and I'd really encourage people just to start the process, throw your hat in the ring. There are 10,500, which is a fantastic number, like a really fantastic number, and I couldn't be happier about that. But there will be big interest, and we'll work to accommodate as many people as we can.
How's TAFE going generally, David? There are a few managerial issues there a couple of years ago. It seems to have quietened down a bit.
Oh, I think things have, we had a rough period a few years ago, but I'm actually here in Melbourne today, this morning, speaking at a tertiary education conference about how to embed quality into an organisation. There's been recognition from the university sector of the great job that the staff at FIVEAA have done over the last couple of years. So I feel like we're back on track. We've got the year of industry. We've got great support. We're investing in facilities, investing in staff. So things are feeling really good. And this boost, which is really targeted at students, takes away that sort of barrier to study, or for those who are feeling, just maybe a bit apprehensive, by taking away that fee barrier. We're expecting just life to return to TAFE right across the border in every area, so it should be great.
Good stuff. David Coltman, the CEO of TAFE SA. Just to round that out, there's a lovely text from Leanne on the text line. She says, "Good morning, guys. My husband is a contract carpenter. We went to an Australia Day barbecue at the home of the builder he was working for, and I remember looking around and thinking, gee, there's a lot of money here. I could tell from the cars they were driving, the clothes they were wearing, the things they were talking about. They were plumbers, carpenters, electricians, all of them tradies, earning good money, really down-to-earth people, and they know how to do things we don't have a clue about. Enjoy the beautiful day today." Thank you for that, Leanne.
I thought it was funny you mentioned the bricklaying being internet-proof. It's not robot-proof. There's a Perth company, I think, that became sort of a stock market darling a couple of years ago for investigating the technology, and everyone got on board. It sort of like became a cautionary tale. Then they found it couldn't. There was one specific type of blaying it couldn't do, so it's stopped. But just recently, there's been some developments on that front. But they're trying to pioneer. I think they built 2,000 homes in Mexico with the technology.
Seriously?
Yeah, it's a big Perth.
Where's the fun in
It's
that?
an Australian startup.
I've stayed in touch with the blokes who did the landscaping when we put the pool in last year. Anthony, he's a cracking bloke, and his sidekick Dylan. We're going to have a bit of a beer tasting afternoon together before Christmas. I paid them a bit of extra. I went down to the local bottler at Goodwood Cellars and picked up 2 slabs of mixed craft beers to thank them for the job that they did, and we've had a standing promise to have a session together. You can't do that with a robot.
No, that's right. They're not as good at conversation.
No.
Yet.
That's right. Maybe in Japan you can do it.
28 minutes after 8. Coming up tomorrow morning on the program, we're going to be broadcasting live from the Adelaide airport because it is our 8th consecutive Variety SA radiothon. $158,000 raised last year. There is a really pleasant-looking graph if you look over the history of this event. $108,000 in 2019, $150,000 in 2020, $158,000 last year. We'd love to crash through $160,000 tomorrow, supporting this magnificent charity that exists solely to assist children who are sick, disadvantaged, or have special needs. Exists in 14 countries around the world. They started here in SA in 1983. We love our partnership with them. We love the opportunity to raise money. We love that we get to promote wonderfully generous South Australian businesses like Cochrane's Transport, who do dollar matching again for Variety SA tomorrow. And we love the opportunity to meet our terrific listeners who, if you're at the airport tomorrow at all and you're in transit, you should come down and say hi. We're in the new part of the airport at the Penfolds bar, which is going to be a lot of fun.
Going to be great.
29 minutes after 8. 5AA News is coming up. We'll be back with more, including a preview of how the Adelaide 500 preparations are shaping up 1 week out for the event starting.
Building amazing homes is important to Beechwood Homes, and so is the environment. So when you build with Beechwood, you're building a better environment for our kids and grandkids. Here's why. Around 70% of scrap materials from every Beechwood home is recycled. bricks, rubble, timber, gyprock and steel, none of it goes to landfill. It's all sorted and recycled. So life really is good. It's even better in a Beechwood home. Google Beechwood Adelaide today for a better future for all of us.
Now, I love my local Mitre 10, or as those of us in the know like to call it, the other hardware store. It's my one-stop shop for all my projects, whether it's something inside that needs fixing, where I'll usually ring my dad, or anything out in the garden, which I'm capable of doing. The staff are great too. They'll happily give you advice on the best products to help you get all of those jobs done.
The year is moving on quickly, and it really is the time to be preparing your home and outdoors for the festive season. Maybe a new outdoor setting or a new barbecue for plenty of outside dinners, and grab yourself some fairy lights and outdoor decorations to really get in the festive mood.
So whatever you need, the team at Mitre 10 will have it, along with all the helpful advice you need to get things done. So for great prices on the right products, choose the other hardware store. Mighty helpful, Mitre 10.
G'day, it's Baz from FIVEAA Milk Company. Just wanted to let you know that we're doing all we can to get behind our local dairy farmers. They've been doing it tough for a long time. Remember, when you buy FIVEAA Milk Company products, you're making a difference. So keep up the good work, SA. Look for FIVEAA Milk Company products in your supermarket. 3 words make all the difference. FIVEAA Milk Company. South Australian first and proud of it.
This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Mostly sunny, 24 today with the 8:30 news. I'm Mel Usher.
Keep in shape with physio-instructed clinical Pilates and gym classes at 6 locations. physioextra.com.
Police are investigating after a home in Modbury was broken into for the second time this week. Kendall Breschig reports.
Just before midnight on Tuesday, 2 men forced their way into the house in Burton Street, hitting the female occupant in the face with the door. They escaped with jewellery, a laptop, cash and a wallet in the woman's car. It was later found dumped at Ridgehaven. Just before 4:30 this morning, police responded to an alarm at the same home, but the suspects had left before they arrived. 2 men were seen leaving the area. This time, the 69-year-old woman wasn't home, and it doesn't appear anything's been stolen. Police dog Judge searched the area but didn't find the offenders.
And police are investigating 2 car fires overnight. A black Mitsubishi parked in Glyde Street at Albert Park was torched around 3:30 this morning, and a stolen BMW was set alight in Cara Crescent at Gulfview Heights last night. It had been stolen from the driveway of a Para Hills home earlier in the night. Local drivers, in particular those who live east of the city, are being reminded to prepare for the upcoming Adelaide 500 road closures. The first will kick in tomorrow with Wakefield Road impacted. Decateville Terrace, Bartels Road, Hutt Street and Fullerton Road will also be affected over the next few weeks. The cyber attack on Optus has seen a rise in telco customers complaining about privacy and termination issues. Telecommunications Industry Ombudsman Cynthia Gabert says the effects of the hack were reflected in the data.
We did see a big uplift in that last week of September when immediately after the privacy breach, where people were really anxious and concerned about what was going on. We have seen that drop off now into October, where we are seeing customers now still working through what the implications of the breach are for them.
Domestic airfares may be at record highs, but there is some relief for those willing to plan ahead. Andrea Crothers has more.
Major airlines slashing fares on hundreds of thousands of select flights as part of the Black Friday sales. Virgin offering discounted tickets from January to June next year, including Brisbane to Sydney from $85 one way or Brisbane to the Whitsundays from $79, while passengers journeying on Jetstar in the first 3 months of next year can go Brisbane to Launceston from $99 one way. The mega sale comes after months of criticism over airline performance.
Another 35 artists have been announced for next year's WOMAD. The final lineup includes a blues artist from the US, German techno marching band and tropical music from Colombia. The World Music Festival returns March 10 to 13, 2023 at Botanic Park. Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Gliderol Garage Doors, adding strength, safety and style to South Australian homes for over 40 years. Gliderol.com.au.
Here's Tom Wren.
Thank you, Mel. There's been another massive upset at the FIFA World Cup, while Spain has had a record-breaking win. Jordan Tunbridge reports.
A day after Saudi Arabia stunned soccer powerhouse Argentina, another Asian team has pulled off a massive upset. Japan came from behind to defeat Germany 2-1 at the FIFA World Cup, scoring both goals late in the second half. Meantime, Spain has registered its biggest win at a World Cup, humiliating Costa Rica with a 7-0 thumping in Qatar. In this morning's other group stage results, Morocco and Croatia drew 0-0, while Belgium beat Canada 1-0. The Socceroos have turned their attention to Saturday's clash with Tunisia after yesterday's 4-1 loss to France.
Aussie Adam Scott's off to a fast start at the Queensland PGA Tournament at the Royal Queensland Course. He's currently in a share of the lead at 3 under. That's along with New South Welshman Nick Flanagan. But it's been much harder going for Cam Smith, who's currently 1 over through 8 holes. Tennis, Croatia has beaten Spain 2-0 at tennis's Davis Cup, setting up a semi-final clash against Australia. Craig Gabriel is in Malaga.
Australia and Croatia are split 1-1 from the previous Davis Cup matches. The last time they met was a year ago in Italy and the Croats won. Australia advanced to the semis by beating the Netherlands yesterday, and Croatia has beaten Spain 2-0 with Borna Coric and Marin Cilic scoring the wins. Australia is likely to play Thanasi Kokkinakis against Coric, and Alex Diminor will be up against Cilic.
And that is the 5AA Sport.
Now checking 5AA traffic.
Samri. They don't grade cheese, they do great things. Get into it at samri.org.au.
At Marden, look out for a truck breakdown. It's on Port Rush Road near Paynham Road. Pretty solid delays there at the moment. Slow going for works at Happy Valley Drive near Manning Road. Also slow going around Fullerton Road and Crossroads for those intersection upgrades. Busy at the moment, Tapley's Hill Road at West Beach Road with cameras Salisbury Highway, Mawson Lakes and Whites Road at Paralawi. The Barbecues Galore Black Friday sale is now on. Save up to 50% off big brand barbecues, outdoor furniture and more. Up to 50% off now, in-store or online at Barbecues Galore. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA weather.
See any issue firsthand with AutoCam. Real-time video, direct to you from your Automasters technician.
24 the top today, with mostly sunny tomorrow 31, Saturday a shower or two 27, down to 20 on Sunday. Right now it's 16 degrees. More news as it happens on 5AA.
Aldi's fresh, juicy Kensington Pride mangoes are now only $4.99 a 4-pack and so tasty, you'll eat the whole thing.
Even the stone?
Yes, even the stone. Tasty stone. Aldi, good, different.
5AA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head online to 5AA Facebook or search 5AA on YouTube. David Penberthy and Will Goodings. 5AA Breakfast.
23 to 9. Behind closed doors coming up in just a moment. We've got a toaster, thanks to Smeg, to give away too before 9 o'clock. We're toasting for the toaster this morning.
Time for a toast with Smeg.
As modelled on the Foodland Supermarkets Facebook and YouTube live stream by David Penberthy, the red fire truck red Smeg toaster. Building or renovating, your first choice will be visiting the Smeg showroom at Debney Distributors. Taste the difference with Smeg. If you'd like to toast someone or something, you can do so, and in the process put yourself in the running to win the toaster. You might toast the state government bring back the Adelaide 500. You might just want to toast the event itself because you love it. The road closures are the component of this that people in the eastern suburbs and those inconvenienced certainly don't like. They start properly tomorrow. The vast majority start on Saturday, but Wakefield Road will experience closures from tomorrow. Decatable Terrace from Saturday, same with Bartels Road. Hutt Street, Bartels Pirie to Wakefield, and Fulton Road with some speed restrictions near the Britannia roundabout. But today, we are 7 days out from the start of the return of the Valo Adelaide 500. Mark Warren is the CEO of Motorsport SA, and he joins us now on 5AA Breakfast. Mark, did you ever think this day would come?
I've got to say, it feels like a whirlwind from the time that I started back in May to try and pull this thing together in such an incredibly short period of time. Hats off to the team. They've just done a fantastic job to get us to this point.
Have there been some challenges, Mark, doing it from a standing start? We know the story about the previous government flogged off quite a lot of the infrastructure, and you've probably had a bit of weather making life difficult for you too, haven't you?
Yeah, everyone is very aware of the interesting spring that we've had. That certainly had an effect on us. We've had to deal with that. We kind of expected it, and we did plan for that in our build schedules. But yes, look, I think the team, they've just put it all together, and I'm very pleased that the weather gods are shining on us right now with the forecast for the event itself. We're going to have mid-20s and fine sunny weather.
Well, that is some good news. Does the Thursday to Sunday program, will it feel to Adelaide 500 regulars like it always has in the past, or will they notice some differences?
I think that we've brought back a lot of the fan favourites of things around the track, but look, there's going to definitely be some new buzz around the area in terms of the other nature of the race itself. First of all, we're the final round, so I think that's a big change for fans, and we're going to see it's going to become a street fight to the finish for the supercar drivers. This is the one that they're going to win, so gloves are going to be off. They're going to race hard, so that's going to be a bit of a change. It also brings back some of that, the days of the Grand Prix years where, being the final round, Adelaide comes alive. It really does. It becomes a party town. And I think that's something that it's the atmosphere and the buzz around the whole event. And absolutely, the road closures, we really appreciate the patience of everyone. We know it's not something that's enjoyed by people, but I think that it really stakes the claim to say, yes, the event has arrived and it's here, and it's unavoidable. And, it really just adds to, right, this marks the occasion coming into Christmas. This is the party town.
How are ticket sales going, Mark? And also, do you have any sense as to what proportion of the ticket buyers are coming from outside of South Australia?
So ticket sales are actually going really strong. And in fact, in the last 6 weeks, we've just seen some real momentum behind it. Our forecasts for looking at attendance, which we need to do, of course, make sure we're building the right size village for about 80,000 people on each day. So we're looking at attendances probably 25% up on what they were from the previous event back in 2020.
Well, that's good. That's really good. And also, there's been a lot of talk about, obviously, the reason hospitality was so upset about losing it was just how many people it brings in. Does it feel like there's a sort of comparable resurgence of demand from interstate as well?
Absolutely. I think that this event was on many people's bucket lists, not just from point of view of locally, but from around Australia. But many didn't make it before it got canned, and so the feedback we've got is people are saying we're there. We're not going to leave it any longer. We want to come, and being the final round, and we know the reputation of Adelaide putting on a great party. We want to be there. So the interstate side of things in terms of bookings has been just fantastic, both from corporate and we expect also from fans.
Do you acknowledge the criticism and the reason the former government failed to continue to support the race? And does it feed into any of the philosophies that underpin how you approach it going forward, this idea that there were diminishing returns year on year? And does that add a sort of pressure to try and reinvigorate and recreate it in a way that actually sees that trend line turn around?
I think it does. Look, previously I think there was the event had become perhaps a little bit tired, if I'm perfectly frank, and that when you get to that point, you're trying to contain it, you're trying to work out how you just go still deliver the event, but because you kind of have to. Whereas now, bringing it back, I think everyone's realised, wow, we can't take this thing for granted, and we're making sure that we're delivering just a fantastic mega event that has so many entertainment and features. You've got to have the right product. At the end of the day, if you go put on a show, it's got to be a fantastic show. So that's what we're investing in, and we're making sure that when people walk away from this year's event, they'll say, wow, we've never seen anything like it. We want to be back again for years to come. Well, all the very best with it, Mark.
Absolutely. We'll obviously stay in touch. We know that a lot of our listeners are very excited about its return, and while some of them probably also have some qualms about traffic, I think that overall there's a consensus that it's a good thing for SA, it's a good thing for the economy, good thing for hospitality, jobs and incomes. So we look forward to the race being back. Mark Warren, the CEO of Motorsport SA.
17 minutes to 9. Let's get some toasts in before 9 o'clock. Tyson in Clarence Gardens, who would you like to toast?
Well, it's not much of a who, but a loaf of bread from Clarendon Bakery.
Oh, excellent toast. Tell us about it.
Oh, Clarendon Bakery, they're really famous for their Cornish pasties. But, yeah, mate, they've been there for a while now. Absolutely brilliant.
Oh, we always love giving the little local business a plug, so we'll put that one down
food toast
on the list.
Very nice.
Toast. Very apt. Toast the bread.
Exactly right. Tom in Christie's Beach, good morning.
Good morning, fellas. I've got a toast, and that's for Hungry Jacks.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, you guys probably don't get junk mail, but I always do. They put a voucher in your letterbox and it goes for 3 months. And every time you go in there and you get something, you always seem to get the ticket back so you can reuse it. So, yeah, I'll give them a taste. But as for McDonald's, yeah, you burnt your toast, fellas, with your wraps.
A man who puts a lot of effort into the discerning world of junk food.
Absolutely. Good on you, Tom. Thank you. Dean and Craigmore, good morning.
Yeah, g'day, boys. I'd like to toast me dog.
Okay.
Why is that, mate?
Well, one thing, it's successfully, you can't read your phone while the dog's around, so that gives you more one-on-one time. And the other thing, any possible thought of romance in the bedroom is absolutely gone because it insists in bloody sleeping in the middle of the
bed. Good one, Dean. Thank you, mate. Thank you, Dean. Let's go to Summerton Park. Good morning, Rob.
Morning, guys. I'd like to toast the guy from the pub Dingo. He gave me a tip the other day for a horse in the 3 o'clock at Ballarat. It was called Landfill. Turned out it was a rubbish tip.
Oh, quality gear. Thank you, Rob. I've just been sent a press release that the AGL have posted to the Australian Stock Exchange in the last few minutes. The Torrens Island Power Station is set to close in 2026. AGL has announced it will close the Torrens Island B Power Station on 30 June 2026. It will continue to progress the transformation of its Torrens Island site into a low-carbon industrial energy hub. The decision follows careful consideration and extensive consultation with stakeholders, including the South Australian Government. This has been driven in part by the planned completion of the Project Energy Connect interconnector between South Australia and New South Wales in mid-2026, which will further impact gas-fired generation in South Australia and, as a result, the economic viability of the power station.
I had no idea that it was even on the cards.
No, I did not. It commenced operations in 1976. The first of 4 units was mothballed in October 2021, so maybe that should have been a sign. The further 3 units will be retired on the 30th of June 2026.
I wonder what that's going to mean to our local capacity to produce power.
Well, it's reduced by, well, I can tell you exactly, it's reduced by some 800, well, originally it was designed to produce 800 megawatts of power, the station there. So they're saying the interconnector just undercuts its ability to be competitive, essentially. Us connecting to the rest of the country means that the dollars and cents don't add up for the power station any longer.
Well, because we'll be able to get more power from interstate.
Yeah, we'll be able to get it from interstate.
I tell you what, the idea of that thing not being there presents a huge environmental opportunity. That whole area is so beautiful, and if it's being deindustrialised, because part of it's already a marine park, with the dolphin sanctuary there in the mangroves, but it could actually look absolutely stunning.
I don't think they're going to return it to mangroves. They want it to be transformed into an integrated industrial energy hub. I imagine this is the line the state government will seize on over the course of the day. One line and the second last paragraph. AGL has also recently announced a feasibility study into the development of a green hydrogen facility at Torrens Island.
Okay.
Of course, hydrogen was one of the big the babies of the Labor Party going into the last state election. So that news just posted the Australian Stock Exchange by AGL with an impact for jobs and a significant part of South Australia. Breaking news on 5AA Breakfast, 12 to 9. We're going to check traffic and come back with more in just a moment. Ritchie Brothers end-of-year unreserved auction, November 30 to December 1. Bid online at rbauction.com.au.
At West Beach, there's a crash on Tapley's Hill Road near West Beach Road. Seeing pretty heavy delays at the moment. Martin, truck breakdown on Port Rice Road near Paynham Road. Umber Lane closed at Happy Valley for works. Happy Valley Drive near Manning Road. Quite busy at the moment. Port Rice Road at Paynham Road. And we've got cameras Hanson Road, Athol Park and Martins Road at Greenfields. The King end of year sale is on now. Save on selected Australian Design Award-winning furniture. Sale on now. Visit the King Keswick showroom today. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Everyday low prices and any time of year. Trust the mighty South Aussies. Great food lives here. Foodland. The mighty South Aussies, yeah. Foodland. The mighty South.
You're watching the 5AA live stream, thanks to Foodland.
Mighty South Aussies, yeah.
A bionic display. Normally valued at $1,799, the Oppo Find X5 Pro is slashed to under $1,000. Buy it now from Harvey Norman for just $999. Why not treat yourself and start the new year with some amazing new tech? Your nearest Harvey Norman has all the latest.
Check out this great offer at 5AA.com.au. Thanks to Harvey Norman Computers.
Right now, there has never been a better time to save on Cooper tyres. Every Cooper tyre is on sale. You heard it right. This is a massive Cooper tyre sale like you have never seen before. Guaranteed to last up to 80,000 Ks. They're better value than ever. Visit coopertyres.com.au to find your nearest authorised retailer. T's and C's apply. In-store only. Be quick. Offer available for a limited time. Cooper Tyres. Tyres worth owning.
Now, I'm not telling anybody who's been watching in all morning on the Foodland live stream anything they don't know, but Will is looking like $1 million today, and it's all thanks to Peter Shearer Menswear. And how's this? I don't know why I didn't think of this before. In one of the ad breaks, I checked. Will and I are the same size. He's a size 42/43, which is exactly what I am. So I sequestered the jacket.
You did.
Had a bit of a...
And you know what? It still works.
Bit of a lap.
Still, you looked like the man that was on the prowl. Various
on the prowl,
reputable establishments.
Wasn't that a song by Old 55? Should have headed down to Jules. Look, sadly, it's not open anymore.
Look, the reality is, if Peter Shearer can make us look good, they can make you look good. They
can make anyone look
exactly
good.
Right. We are well into the new season, so now is a great time to refresh your spring wardrobe, especially during Peter Shearer's Black Friday sale.
That's right. Get a massive 25% off store-wide, but it's only for a limited time, and it includes all the new season arrivals, 25% off suits and sports coats, 25% off shoes and casual wear, 25% off business shirts.
With a huge range of brands in-store and online, you can find the style you want, the advice you need, at the best price that works for you. Always at Peter Shearer Menswear.
And you can shop in-store at Rundle Mall, Glenelg, Mount Barker and Gawler, or jump online, check out their excellent website, petershearer, all one word, .com.au.
Top of the list? First pick, numero uno. If you've been dreaming of choosing a new Mazda, Mawson Lakes Mazda want to give you preferential treatment. New stock has arrived, and right now you can take first pick of the Mazda range and lock in an amazing deal. Get behind the wheel of your dream Mazda sooner. See the new stock available for delivery now. Mawson Lakes Mazda, just a short drive from the city.
For more than 10 years, Brenton Raglas and Kate Collins have brought you all the big stories on 9 News.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
8 minutes to 9.
Under the sea.
What sea creature am I?
Darling, it's better down where it's wetter. Take it.
If you want to come to Christmas lunch at the excellent Fish Bank restaurant, call right now, 8223 0000. You're the first person to correctly answer what sea creature am I with David's clues. You will be coming along. It's as simple as that. The clues are not too far away. Get calling right now. First, though, our Business of the Week. This week we are celebrating Meat at the Mount, our 5AA Business of the Week. You can save on bulk premium local meat with Meat at the Mount. Visit blackfridaymeat.com.au. We've got a winner of the Smeg Toaster as well, thanks to Debney Distributors.
Oh, we're going to do that now?
Yeah.
Hey, look, I reckon Mary, just for...
Yep. That was nice.
The loving tribute she paid to her husband, who's about to get kitted up as Father Christmas. She has full faith in his capacity to do that. So, Mary, you are the winner of the excellent Smeg Toaster.
Building or renovating, make sure you check out the Smeg showroom at Debney Distributors. Taste the difference with Smeg. All right, let's get some clues for what sea creature am I?
Okay, here we go. I am slim and slender with a sharp, pointy beak. I am attracted to light, and along with flake, butterfish, and whiting, I'm one of the go-to fish at your local fish shop.
Stephen Goolwa, who do you think it is? Who do you think it is? What sea creature do you think it is?
I think it's a squid.
Sorry, mate, it is not a squid.
Not a squid. Nadia, good morning.
Hello.
How are you, Nadia? Did you hear the clues?
I did hear the clues.
So I'm a fish with a pointy beak. What do you think?
Garfish.
You're a Of course I'm a garfish.
On you, Nadia. See you at Christmas lunch at the Fish Bank restaurant. Congratulations to you. Well done. Now, it's 5 to 9, and it's time to go behind closed doors thanks to Aussie Fast Transport Solutions. Interstate freight distribution, warehousing and local Adelaide couriers. Call Aussie Fast on 13 13 64.
And when we get behind
$13.95. Adelaide's FIVEAA. This is Jade Robran.
And welcome back to the program. Great to have you with us again. Don't forget you can check us out on the FIVEAA live stream and watch what we're doing. Pretty much just what you'd expect. It's me sitting in front of a microphone wearing headphones. Apart from that, nothing happens. So do have a look at the FIVEAA live stream if you've got nothing else going on in your life. Well, how have you been doing? How have you dealt with the weather? Enough rain for you? Have you been down to your shack and made sure it's not underwater? What do you mean you don't have a shack? Doesn't everybody have one? What's it like to only have one house? Well, power prices just keep going up, don't they? And they're going up so much, I'm going to use my American accent. The power prices just keep going up and up and up and up, don't they? And we're always looking for ways to lower our electricity costs. And what better way than to come up with some clever hacks to save electricity? And on the line is expert Alan Thies with some ideas. Alan, thanks for joining us and good afternoon.
Yeah, my pleasure, Jade.
So what's this about bubble wrap on the windows?
Yeah, well, it's more of a winter thing than a summer thing. But
okay.
Basically, what a lot of people have found is that if they stick bubble wrap on the inside, it actually works very well.
Right, and also I presume it has the effect of not only cooling your house, but making it look like a uni student slum.
I think a lot of renters and students have worked this one out some time back.
Yes, it does sound like the sort of stupid thing they'd come up with.
I used to put cooking foil on the inside of part of my window when I was living in a share house, and that worked very well.
Oh, great. So that would make it look a bit like a float from the pageant.
Yeah, that's right.
Great stuff.
And that's where also low-cost shade cloth's very good.
Right.
You can kind of stick that around the outside of your window and it'll still let you see out a bit and get daylight, but it'll make a big difference to the amount of sun coming in.
Wowzers, and I reckon if we get enough people doing it, we can have Adelaide looking like a shanty town on the outskirts of Mexico during the Great Depression.
Now it's 2.5 minutes to 9 o'clock. Graham Gooding's in the chair for Leon Biner this morning. Next time we see you, are going to be broadcasting live from the Adelaide Airport.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
Variety SA Radiothon.
Head on down, folks. We'll be there by 6 o'clock. Probably a little bit earlier, in fact. What are you looking at me like for?
just 6. 6 will do.
6.
We'll take 6.
6 to
If
9.
you get there at 6, we'll be laughing.
Yes. No, I'll be there for sure.
And
going to any rock festival.
Head to the Variety SA website as well if you want to check out the auction items. They're up for grabs. And indeed, make a donation. We appreciate the generosity of South Australians. We're hoping to break another record tomorrow. $158,000 raised last year. Also, Cochrane's Transport doing just yeoman's work. Dollar for dollar matching every single donation. Looking forward to the day. We'll see you then from 6.
For over 38 years, Steinborner has been well worth the trip. With over 400 used cars to choose from,